the face that runs the place.
Long live living.
Goodbye and good night.
How's it going, folks? Welcome to another edition of the Kickouts, your weekly pro wrestling guides right here on 90.3 Near FM, on all good podcasting providers, and on the EMC Podcast Network. I'm Dave Cullen, and I'm joined by the man who vandalized Kenny Omega's Bullet Club cast tracksuit top, Daragh Maher. Daragh, how are you this afternoon?
I'm good, Dave.
Why?
I'm good, Dave. My plan to get Kenny out of the Bullet Club and have me take his place is...
Wait.
Coming along very nicely.
Wait a minute. You're trying to get yourself into the Bullet Club instead of Kenny?
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
What's the vendetta against Kenny?
But just someone had to go.
But Kenny?
Kenny was the easiest target.
The easiest targets?
Yes, there was already seeds of doubt with Kenny and Cody, so I just...
And you went with him rather than Cody?
Well, one of them was going to get kicked out, and it looks like Kenny. I didn't choose Kenny. Are you
sure about that?
No, I didn't. I put the seeds of doubt in both Kenny and Cody's mind. Whichever one gets kicked out.
What are you doing?
What?
But why didn't you cause friction between two other people?
Like who?
Takahashi,
no. He's good. He can stay in the club.
Chase Owens.
Chase Owens is an up-and-comer. I'd like to see him stay with Bullet Club rather than go somewhere else.
I can't compare with anyone else, to be honest with you. I was going to say, Hangman Page is doing well enough, so I'm okay.
Hangman Page, he's my insurance.
He's your insurance?
He's my insurance. That's why I'm putting the seeds of doubt with Joey Ryan in with him. Yes.
You're causing friction between everyone in Bullet Club.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, to be fair, from what we saw...
Dave, you've got to have your main objective there with Kenny and Cody, and then you got to have some insurance. You got to have a backup, a plan B, which is the Joey Ryan and Hangman Page controversy. Who can dick flip harder?
Oh well, that's a match. You know what? That's a match we could see very sooner than we think in the future. Like, you never know. Like, imagine that. Would you actually pay to see that match?
Yes.
Hangman Page against Joey Ryan.
What are you doing with your arm there, Dave?
No, I'm just suggesting maybe he's called Hangman Page for a reason. Or for reasons to run beyond we could think if that's the case.
Oh, yeah, he's got the longest rope in wrestling, yeah.
We're coming to you live from the RFM studios in the beautiful North Dublin village of Coolock. And we'll be here for the next 2 hours, bringing you all the latest news, results, previews, rumours, and more from the world of professional wrestling.
Sorry. I'm just watching at the moment.
All right.
WWE, have you seen any of their... entrance impersonation videos?
Oh, no, what do you mean?
They get like two people and they have them swap entrances.
No,
like Naomi did it with Jey Uso, and they swapped entrances. But they just released a video of the Ascension and Breezango swapping.
Oh my god!
Just seeing
this is like Breezango coming out in here.
You got to say they're pulling it off. The Ascension are definitely pulling it off.
It'll be interesting to see,
Yeah.
I know not many people can pull off Tyler Breeze or anyone like that. So
yeah, Connor is pulling off Tyler Breeze quite well.
Interesting. Yeah, I have to see that. I saw stuff like that.
Or Victor, sorry, not Connor. Yeah, Connor's the bigger lad.
I saw stuff like that before, where especially in NXT when Bayley did Balor and Balor did Bayley.
Yeah,
this is entrances. So
could have got yourself in a lot of trouble there, Dave.
In this week's show, we're giving you all the latest news from the world of pro wrestling, both here and abroad. Viewing the past week's action from WWE Raw, Smackdown, 205 Live and NXT. Previewing events coming up from the likes of OTT Contenders, Uprising Wrestling and Low Blows. And we'll also be announcing our winners for this year, our TKO Kickies of 2017. So, a packed show, but first we're going to start, as always, with the news.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Also, good news, everyone.
We're going to start with news concerning New Japan, who this week revealed their lineups for the new beginning in Sapporo and Osaka, With Wrestle Kingdom 12 and New Year's Dash in the rearview mirror, New Japan Pro Wrestling have revealed the lineups for their next 3 major shows. New Japan Pro Wrestling will be at Sapporo for 2 New Beginning shows later this month, and in Osaka for a 3rd New Beginning event in February 10th. The Osaka show will be the most loaded show of the 3, with IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada defending his title against Sanada, Evil Openweight Champion Hiroki Goto defending against Evil, Hiromu Takahashi will challenging Will Ospreay for his IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, and Susumu Naito to face Yoshihashi. There are also 4 title matches set for Sapporo. Hiroshi Tanahashi will put his IWGP Intercontinental title on the line against Minoru Suzuki on night 1, and Togi Makabe, Henry and Ryosaki Taguchi will challenge the Bullet Club's 6-man tag titles. Kenny Omega defending his IWGP United States Heavyweight title against Jay White will headline night 2, and Roppongi 3K will get their Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title rematch against the Young Bucks. Most of the big matches for this tour were set up at New Year's Dash as part of the storyline where Okada accepted Sanada's challenge for the title match. Okada and Goto will be challenging for Sanada and Evil's IWGP Tag Team Championship at a Road to the New Beginning show at the Corgan Hall on February 6th. Both shows in Sapporo and the New Beginning in Osaka will be live air in New Japan World with English commentary available. So some exciting matches ahead.
Yeah, all champions are going to be defending their titles on different nights. Definitely, you can see some interesting matchups, especially with the likes of Goto going up against Suzuki. By the way, I was watching a video of one of Suzuki's earlier matches when he was first in New Japan during the week. My God, young with hair, he looks scary. Old without hair, scary. But when he looked young with hair, I thought I was watching Shibata.
Seriously?
Looks the spitting image of Shibata.
Are you saying Shibata? Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, now think about it. I saw a documentary on him once. This is before. This is about this time last year when Suzuki challenged Okada for the heavyweight title, and there was some guy in I don't know his page who was doing like a 15-minute bit on Suzuki, like giving a history, like because he's. But then he was probably he's relatively unknown to the United States, or certainly in Europe. Anyway, now he's known everywhere now. So that's all I can say. And you're talking about his pancreas background, and when he had like a full head of hair similar to Shibata's as well, like so. Oh yeah. Now he's all bald and had his famous
bald
mohawk.
by choice. Well, not by choice.
But by punishments. It's funny when you put it that way, isn't it? But yeah, like it'd be interesting to see him and Takahashi. That's a rivalry there that goes back a few years now as well. Because Tanahashi, excuse me. Again, I always get mixed up. Yeah, Tanahashi and Suzuki, they had a rivalry. This is before Tanahashi had his rivalry with Okada. It was like just back when Okada came back from his excursion in America. Yeah. So it'd be interesting matches ahead. Like, is there one significant match that we're not seeing there is, or one significant person that we're not seeing there is Jericho. It's Jericho. Now, imagine if he's going to face Tetsuya Naito, because it was seated that from New Year's Dash. They'll probably be saying it for a much bigger show.
I would imagine probably Dominion for the show. I'm guessing they're going to hold off till June, or maybe when they do the United States shows.
That could make sense. Which isn't far away. That's only some March, isn't it?
March, isn't it?
Yeah. So why not? Make a lot more sense doing that.
Yeah, I think they'll do it then. I think that around that time, February 10th. Yeah. I'd expect Jericho to be back for the 25th anniversary of Raw.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, if that's the case, I think he'll make an appearance in the Rumble.
Might do.
It'd be weird. I'm not expecting him to be in WWE at all anymore now. Really? After that, I'm really no.
I know. It looks like he's really enjoying this time, especially with the stuff with Naito at New Year's Dash, and obviously. Did you actually hear him? He did a podcast there just a couple of days ago with Kenny Omega, and they broke down their match.
It was on Talk is Jericho.
Yeah, it was so interesting to listen to. I listened to about 20 minutes of it, and how they talked about the match and everything. It was great. You should really listen to it. I'm going to listen to the rest of it on the way home as well.
Yeah, I heard a few people talking about it. Yeah. No, I'm meaning to watch it. Like, what was I going to say? When was the last time Jericho had someone on his show go back over a match, or certainly? I imagine he's had Kevin Owens over last year as well.
Yeah.
Or
not just like so recent where he's had them on. No, not at all. But yeah, it was so good to see that. Like I said, probably won't see Jericho in Japan again till maybe around time. It all depends. I don't know if Fozzy are going on a tour.
Dominion's June and July, isn't it?
Yeah, but see, Fozzy are on tour around April time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think
plus the cruise will be somewhere. It will be around
that's October.
Oh, it's not. It's October.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we probably won't see Jericho. The Jay White match would be interesting with Kenny Omega.
Do you think he can? The thing is, though, do you think going back to what we said last week about Jay White, because we talked about somehow we're not sure if he's enough of a threat yet because he's still getting into his character. Do you think it's a good time for him to face Omega?
Probably, yeah. We'll get into it in a new story later on.
Yeah.
But he has aligned themselves with a faction after turning down the Bullet Club, and the way, like, there was a press conference and everything for it where it was him and Okada. I watched it.
Yeah.
It seems as though he's playing the mercenary role, where he's doing it for his own benefit. He doesn't believe in, he doesn't believe in working with the guys. He sees them as help because he knows he can't take down the whole Bullet Club by himself.
So he's being smart, but
he's being smart about it. Yeah, he's like a smart, like a general.
We'll get more into that shortly. Yeah. Like, another thing I want to bring up is Okada and Goto could be going for the tag titles against Evil and Sanada. Like, was there ever a potential before that I'm aware of? I don't think there was anyway, where there could be a double champion in Japan, where Okada. I don't remember Okada ever challenged for the tag titles before. Yeah. That's for sure, or much less like Tanahashi or any of those guys before. So it's definitely very interesting.
The closest I can remember is say the tag team champions being in the G1 for a chance to go with the title.
Yeah,
I've never actually seen this match actually happen.
I'm guessing the only time it happened before was when Kojima and Tenzan were champions back in the day, because they were very successful. They're the most successful heavyweight tag team in Japan. Yeah, they've won at least their 6 tag team titles as far as I'm aware. So maybe even between then they might have had both, but again I wouldn't know for sure. Yeah. But
and then the junior heavyweight title with Takahashi.
I can't wait for that
going
match.
Up against Will Ospreay. Do you remember, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to the Jericho podcast, but it was interesting that you know when during the match Jericho put Kenny Omega in the walls of Jericho outside the ring.
Yeah.
What was meant to happen was Jericho was meant to turn Kenny around and then do, say, like the monkey flip, where Kenny was meant to get on its part of the stage and then do moonsault off it onto Jericho.
Oh, but Ospreay did it first.
Ospreay did it first, and then they was like, damn it, we couldn't do it. The junior heavyweight stealing all the good spots.
Well, to be fair, they're the one who got the 5-star match from Dave Meltzer.
That's true. Well, you don't want to talk about that, though. Well, you're a little salty towards some of those ratings.
I wouldn't say I'm salty. I just disagree. Like, you know, I personally thought Naito and Okada was Naito Okada was a better match than Jericho and Omega. I understand.
But if Naito had won, do you think it would have been 5 stars?
I hate to think it. I'd hate to say it, but yeah. Like, I hate to think that the outcome is a difference between this and that. Like, I know that the booking is wrong, and I think we can both agree on that. But I hate to think that's the difference between a 4.5 star match and a 5-star match. And again, like, although I respect Dave Meltzer's opinion, I don't agree with him in this case. Like, so.
Yeah.
But
that's why he puts them out there, so we can have this conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, in my opinion, as I said this there were debates about this in the Irish Wrestling Forum, and I said, listen, I did enjoy both matches. It was those 3 matches, especially the junior heavyweight match,
which got 4.75.
Yeah. Quality matches, but for me the match tonight was because the story was so compelling.
Is it more because you had a personal interest in that, because it was an LIJ interest in
Maybe I'm just being biased. Maybe no, I'm a huge Naito fan, so that's probably it. I don't want to be biased about it, but maybe in that case I couldn't help myself.
Could be.
We'll move on in the meantime. Some news about Samoa Joe this week. Are you ready?
Oh, sorry, you caught me cold there.
Yeah, no worries.
Yes, Samoa Joe is out of the upcoming Mixed Match Challenge tournament due to an apparent injury. WWE started a fan vote on Monday to decide between Joe, Elias and Jason Jordan for the final spot on the Raw side. Joe apparently won that vote, but Kurt Angle tweeted during the week saying that Elias would be taking Joe's spot due to injury. The tweet read, "Thank you for voting for Bayley's partner in the WWE Mixed Match Challenge, but due to an injury suffered on Raw, Samoa Joe is unable to compete. Therefore, the runner-up, Elias, will be Bayley's partner." Joe appeared on Raw last night and defeated Rhino. He did have an in-ring interview after the match where he announced himself for the Royal Rumble, saying that John Cena will be the first person he eliminates. In an article on WWE.com, Dr. Chris Annan said Joe felt a pop in the bottom of his right foot during the match against Rhino. We took a look and believe he has a plantar fascicular rupture, which is a thick tissue rupture under the foot. Ammon said, we will get an MRI to confirm. Treatment includes a period of immobilization in a boot with crutches and platelet-rich plasma injections.
Now, well, for me, like, about this, well, the thing about, before we move on about this, there's speculation that he actually isn't injured.
There is speculation that he hasn't been injured.
Even though it was on WWE's
official page.
It was on the fallouts on the YouTube
Joe
page.
did announce that on his own Twitter. Was it a day after Raw or was it the day before Raw? I can't remember
after.
the times. I can't remember the times. It could have been the day of Raw that he tweeted out saying that he's actually going to be taking part in the next Transformers film.
Okay.
I believe it's the animated film, not the one that John Cena is going to be doing, the Bumblebee film. So he's going to be doing voiceovers for that. Supposedly it's going to take a bit of time for him to be doing that. Now, I don't know if they're using that injury as a way for him to be off TV for a while. If it is the case, I would rather it be that he is going to do the film, because then he could come back for Royal Rumble. If it's not, then he's out of Royal Rumble because it's 1 to 4 months, they were saying, supposedly, for the injury.
It's just so...
It's a horrible timing if it's an injury because he's only back.
Yeah.
And he has been the best thing, I believe, about Raw.
Oh, well,
since he's come back.
He's easily the best promo on Raw.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like in the matches he had with Roman Reigns last few weeks. Even the way he delivered it, and there we'll talk about more when we talk about Raw shortly. But
like the best heel character on Raw at the moment is Samoa Joe.
He's the one true badass at WWE, and he's hey, this is probably a weird comparison.
He's the closest thing to Stone Cold, I believe.
You read the words right out of my mouth, so I was just about to say that.
I read the words out of your mouth.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, you write words on your mouth. That's weird. What's next on it? Oh, the next news story. How do we get to that then?
Going back to the mixed match challenge, the list of teams for WWE's mixed match challenge are pretty much now set in stone. WWE announced 2 more teams on SmackDown. Shinsuke Nakamura will be paired with Natalya in the tournament, and Sami Zayn will team up with Becky Lynch. In their announcement video, we're both excited that Lynch said that they'll bring back the good Zayn, but Zayn replied that he's the same person she's always known, and their team will bring out the best in Lynch.
Gingers!
The Gingers, yeah, we talked about this last week.
The Ginger Nuts.
This leaves Carmella, where with Big E now as well. It was a fan vote was left to determine the member of the New Day who will be wrestling in the Mixed Match Challenge. It came out as Big E in I think it was the Facebook thing as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. They've been doing a few promo videos as well for it.
Yeah.
I think the whole New Day pancake thing is getting out of hand. They put it in Carmella's everything, under her hat, in her briefcase, and everything, in her shoes.
As a hint.
Yeah.
It was obviously revealed, as we talked about just a second ago, Elias is revealed as Bayley's partner as a result of Samoa Joe's right foot injury, which forced him out of the tournament. So here's the final list of teams then for the show. Representing Raw, Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss, Finn Balor and Asha Banks.
What was that?
If you saw the video of Finn Balor talking about his nephew's favourite 2 wrestlers, he understands.
Oh, okay.
So Finn Balor and Sasha Banks, but
Demon Bosses.
The Demon Bosses, as we said. The other team, Apollo Crews against Nia Jax, The Miz and Asuka, Goldust and Alicia Fox, and Elias and Bayley. Then representing SmackDown, Bobby Roode and Charlotte Flair, Rusev and Lana, Jimmy Uso and Naomi, Shinsuke Nakamura and Natalya, Sami Zayn and Becky Lynch, and Big E and Carmella. So it's a team set in stone. So
okay, hold on. I want to think of team names for you. Okay, so Strowman and Bliss, the Little Monsters.
I love it. Little Monsters.
Balor and Banks, Demon Boss.
We already established that. Okay.
Apollo Crews and Nia Jax. This is interesting. I can't think of one for that.
I'm not like most Tituses.
No.
Or we're not like most Tituses.
No.
Oh no, that's a tough one. Not like most Sprinkles.
She's not like most Vanilla.
Miz and Asuka.
Miz and Asuka.
The Empress of Awesome. The Empresses of Awesome.
The Empress of Awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. Empress of Awesome. Goldust and Alicia Fox. Captain Gold.
Captain Gold.
Captain Gold.
I was
Or
gonna-
Gold.
I was going to say
Captain Goldie.
I was going to say shattered ears because if Alicia Fox screams, like that's what happens.
Shattered ears. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that. We're going to keep that one.
Okay. Elias and Bailey.
Walk with Bailey.
Walk up Bailey.
Walk with Huggers.
I was going to say hug with Elias, but
Hugs.
hug with Elias.
Hug with Elias. Yeah, Hug with Elias. Okay, we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
Hug with Elias. Bobby Roode and Charles Flair. Glorious Queen.
Glorious Queens.
The Glorious Queen.
The Glorious Queen. What else could we say? I just feel we're... Yeah, Glorious Queen. We'll stick with that. Rusev and Lana. Mr. and Mrs. Lana. Simple as that.
Yeah, pretty much. yeah. Jimmy Uso and Naomi. No?
Mr. and Mrs. Uso.
Mr. and Mrs. Uso. Yeah. No, we can think of that. The Usglow.
The Usglow Penitentiary.
The Usglow Penitentiary, yeah.
Nakamura and Natalia.
Lana Day.
Lana Day.
Yeah, Rusev and Lana. Lana Day.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah,
that's better.
Lana Day. Nakamura and Natalia. Japanese cats.
Japanese cats. They don't like cats. They actually said that in the video.
Yeah, Japanese cats. Sami Zayn and Becky Lynch to Ginger Nuts.
Ginger Nuts, yeah. And Big E and Carmella.
Big E and Carmella. The Staten Island Booty.
Brilliant! Staten Island Booty. Or the Staten Island Pecs.
What? The Fabulous Booty.
No, Staten Island Pecs, it's Big E.
Yeah, but it's booty.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so that's it. So, of all those teams, though, like, who do you think who do you pick out straight away?
Ooh, obviously the likes of Braun and Alexa Bliss.
I fancy Sammy and Becky now. I have to
Sammy
say.
and Becky are a good call. I think the Miz and Asuka are probably the...
Rude and Charlotte as well.
Rude and Charlotte, yeah. There's some strong teams
Very
there.
strong. No, there isn't too many weak teams. Obviously, Balor and Banks as well. There isn't too
Balor
many
and
weak...
Banks is a good team. Elias and Bailey, I think, would probably be one of the weakest. Goldust and Alicia probably too. Just in terms of their booking at the moment.
I'd say Cruz and Nia Jax will be dark horses now.
Yeah, I'd say Nia Jax will probably be carrying the team or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Rusev Lana, I'd love to see against Jim Uso and Naomi. Battle of the Couples.
If Lana can sing, which I don't know if she can, she could just do another 12 days of Rusev.
Yeah, true. Aiden English should just be ringside anyway.
Yeah, probably, yeah. So it should be exciting. So we'll see what happens ahead there. But we'll move on in the meantime. Some really interesting news now coming out of the Bullet Club this week.
Yes, while the venue and location have yet to be announced, it will not be Dublin. Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks apparently have set a date for their all-in 10,000 seat show. Cody revealed the official Twitter account for the event during the week and teased that it will be taking place on September 1st. The account follows Cody, Matt and Nick Jackson, Kenny Omega, RO Star, Stephen Amell, Marty Scurll and Hangman Page. All 7 have tweeted out to say that they are all in for the show. The idea for All In began when Dave Meltzer tweeted last May that Ring of Honor couldn't sell out an arena over 10,000 fans anytime soon. Cody took that as a bet and revealed that in November that Cody and the Young Bucks were planning to self-finance the show. September 1st is on a Saturday during Labor Day weekend. That weekend is traditionally when Pro Wrestling Guerrilla's Battle of Los Angeles tournament takes place. The date would mean that Daniel Bryan, who has indicated that his contract with WWE expires on 28, September 28th, should say, won't be wrestling at the show, regardless of what his future with WWE ends up being.
So certainly
interesting.
It is interesting.
Have you seen everyone taking the piss out of these all-in tweets?
I forgot. Yeah, yes, and it boggles my mind how so many people are still thinking that it's Dublin.
I know. It's not Dublin.
It's optimistic, I grant you that.
It's not Dublin.
I understand.
Supposedly they've settled on Chicago.
Yeah, I imagine it'd be Chicago or Los Angeles.
Well, if it's going to be Labor Day weekend, I'd say to stay away from Los Angeles because
no, you're right.
If Bola is going to be on that weekend,
do you think that'll be a problem as well because it's the same time?
No, because Bola only has a certain amount of seats. I think it's how many, 500 or something like that.
So it's very similar to OTT, yeah.
Yeah, and they sell out. So where are the people that want to go going to go? Then there you go. Might as well go because they're hot for that weekend anyway to go to see a wrestling show.
Yeah, true.
So why not go to Chicago?
Why not? Yeah.
Now maybe they might do it in LA for that reason though. That if you're going to be in LA, you can't get a ticket. Why not come to our show instead?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's so funny how people are
The best all-in one has to be the John Cena one. Have you seen John Cena?
I didn't know. No, I've seen
No,
that.
because it's just an all-in with an empty person. It's the best one.
It's like I'm not in. So
yeah, they had one for Daryl as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh no way. Oh so how many wrestlers? Tell me the wrestlers you've seen that have been gone through this.
The actual ones that are going to be there are the usuals. You know, the ones that I've just said in the news report. Pretty much all the Bullet Club members have said it.
Oh, okay.
So there's no other official ones. These are
the other ones.
These are all like piss takes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. No, the other ones I've actually seen were like
Yeah.
I saw one that Justy did himself, and then one that John Morrissey did for Justy as well.
Yeah. Who else was it? There was Justy doing fish hooking. I think that was.
Yeah. No. John did that one. So.
Who else have been doing them? Like someone put Daniel Bryan in as doing it. Someone actually did a fantasy match card for it.
Oh yeah.
And it was Cody Rhodes against CM Punk, of course, because everyone wants a CM Punk. Who else? It was Matt and Nick Jackson against
The Revival.
Matt and Nick Jackson and Hangman Page against, I think it was Rey Mysterio, Justin Thunder Liger, and someone else I can't remember.
Nice.
And then they did Kota Ibushi against Daniel Bryan. And then they did Marty Scurll. Who they put Marty Scurll up against?
Pete Dunne.
No, I can't remember. It's gone now, but
Ospreay.
no. It was like a fantasy one, so it was like a fantasy match that we probably wouldn't see that they'd want to see.
Who is he not faced yet?
There's a lot of people who he hasn't faced.
You'd be surprised. He's getting he's faced a lot more people than you think. So
Yeah.
but it's definitely very interesting to see now. Like but it seems like details could be very close now from being announced. So it could be very soon now. So it should be interesting. So we'll see what happens. We'll move on in the meantime. Going back to what we talked about with New Japan. They held a press conference during the week where it revealed that Switchblade Jay White is the newest member of the Chaos faction the day after he turned down a spot in Bullet Club and announced that he intends to challenge Kenny Omega for the IWGP United States Championship. White, who was seated alongside IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada, said that he was joining Chaos out of necessity as he needs help against Bullet Club, but said that just because they are disabled members, Kazuchika Okada should not consider himself safe. So he's pretty much laid the marker straight off. But the thing is, though, you get the impression that Chaos will be very... I was just going to mention this. Chaos are very... You think they'll be very cautious in who they bring in.
Well, he mentioned it in his press conference himself. He says, like, I'm not joining you because I want to join you. I'm joining you because I need a team behind me.
So it's temporary then.
Yes.
So
he said it's temporary. And he actually looked at Okada and he pointed at the title and said, one day me and you are going to have a fight for this. So, he's like I said, he's like a mercenary. He gets behind the right people and... actually, mercenary is probably a bad term because mercenaries are paid to actually work for them. But, like, you know, he's one of these, like, he wants to be a lone wolf. He does, but he knows that he can't. He's a smart guy about this. Like, he can't take down a whole
so he's looking for
faction by itself.
So he's essentially looking for a temporary backup, essentially.
Pretty much.
Well, it works in that way, I suppose. So it'll be interesting to see how it works out, or from, like, you know, whether he turns against them or it could be vice versa. So we'll have to wait and see.
Exactly.
We'll move on. Some exciting news for Christy Helm this week.
Yes, former WWE and Impact Wrestling star Christy Hemme announced late last night on her official Twitter account that she had undergone successful surgery and has delivered quadruplets.
Wow.
Her 3 sons and a daughter, Jagger James Peterson, Quinn Eugene Peterson, Hemi Lee Peterson, and Sunny Sue Peterson. Hemi and her husband Charlie Peterson, if you didn't already know that for the second names, already are proud parents of a 2-year-old daughter named Charlie Rose. We here at the Kick Out would like to send our congratulations to the newly extended family.
From 1 to 5.
From 1 to 5.
Wow, I can't even imagine.
Quadruplets.
Mother of God.
Damn.
Fair play to her. I heard you had to go through a procedure before that, so like, because something like that, like, I imagine is very, 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 is something you need a lot of care for.
Exactly.
Like, so there's not much we can say to that. Congratulations, Christy. We wish all the best in the recovery. So we'll move on. Some very, very interesting news coming from IPW in the UK. Oh, sorry, this is my bit. Excuse me. I keep getting mixed up with our news bits again. International Pro Wrestling United Kingdom have announced or confirmed that WWE United Kingdom champion Pete Dunne versus IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Will Ospreay will take place at their Magnificent 7 event on Wednesday, January 17th at Milton Keynes, England. In a post in his official Twitter account, Ospreay, who captured the WGP Junior Heavyweight title at the January 4th Wrestle Kingdom 12 pay-per-view, stated that, to the best of his knowledge, it was the first ever in-ring meeting between current WWE and IWGP singles champions. Which in itself, that's a dream match in itself when you think about the idea that it's champion versus champion, like, you know, like
exactly, who's the better brand?
So from two of the biggest promotions in the world at the moment. So I mean, that's like Okada against AJ, or
Okada against Brock,
or Brock against Kenny even.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely an exciting match. These guys have wrestled before, obviously, but it's never been under the banner of champion versus champion.
Yeah,
which is going to be interesting. I wonder if, like, they're building it up that way, so I'm guessing that the guys are going to be bringing their titles with them.
Oh, they have to.
I hope so.
They have to.
Like, I think Pete brings his title anyway.
He brings it everywhere.
He brings his title anyway, but I don't know, would Ospreay do it? I think he has to now.
Well, I don't know, because I'm not sure I'm not sure New Japan let Pete their
I don't think so, because Ring of Honor are more lax about it. They'll let them do it.
But yeah, because Cody brought the Ring of Honor World title to OTT.
Yeah, War Machine have brought tag team titles and they've won.
Skrull didn't bring that. He was Junior Heavyweight Champion when he was.
I think War Machine did bring their titles.
Did they?
Yeah, when they were teaming with Jeff Cobb against British Strong Style. I think they were IWGP tag team champions at the time.
Oh, okay. Well,
they brought the tag team championship with them.
Whatever the case, Skrull didn't bring his title when he was champion at the time when he was in for being the elite. So, but I will. Well, we'll have to hope Ospreay brings it, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, it's not bringing it to us anyway, so
we'll see. Yeah. Well, anyway, here's some very interesting news concerning WWE and a company called NextVR.
Yes, NextVR, the leader in broadcasting live events and virtual reality, and WWE have announced a new partnership to bring fans unique WWE experience in virtual reality, featuring highlights from select 2018 WWE special events. The virtual reality experience will be approximately 10 minutes and will be available for free on the WWE Universe globally, to the WWE Universe globally on a new WWE channel within the NextVR app. Following each event, the content will provide fans with a completely new experience, featuring highlights from WWE's biggest events, including the excitement of the fans, athleticism of the WWE's higher-than-life superstars, pivotal moments, epic showdowns, and surprise appearances, giving them the opportunity to see the action as if they were live.
Now that I read that, it actually makes a lot more sense of what they're trying to do, rather than, because we talked about this off air. Like, how would they present this? And it seems like just showing the highlights. It could be all taken from some sort of 360 camera or something like that.
Well, that's what you'll have to do. Yeah, we talked about the idea of like how they're going to do it and what you're going to see. I feel like what they'll do on the hard camera side is they're going to take a seat and they're going to have a camera there. And I think, I can't remember the event. What was the last pay-per-view they had?
WWE?
Yeah. It was a Smackdown one, I think.
Oh god, Clash of Champions?
Was it Clash of Champions?
I think it was.
No,
yeah.
It wasn't. It was a different one.
No, I'm sure it was. It was definitely Clash of Champions.
Was it?
Yeah.
If it was, okay, Clash of Champions. I did notice on the hard camera side that there was two cameras just on the outside of the ring there by the barricade.
Okay.
I think they were testing that then. I think that's where they're going to be. The cameras are.
How did you notice that?
Because I saw it was something weird.
Okay, no,
yeah, it just popped back in my head.
I'm so focused on the wrestling, I can't even pay attention to ring sides. That's why I miss signs all the time.
Yeah,
because there could be the funniest side to be right in front of me, and I'm paying attention to the referee more than that's like.
I think that's what they were testing, and if it's like that's going to be interesting. So as if you're a fan sitting ringside, and that's what you're going to see, and that's actually going to be pretty good.
It'll be interesting, yeah, and especially with the Rumble coming up, which I imagine will be the first event.
I think it'll probably be the first event that they'll try it, yeah.
Yeah, or certainly, but I imagine the first event they'll actually get access will either be that or WrestleMania. No,
I think it'll be that one. Like I said, if they're testing it at Clash of Champions, then they'll have it ready for the Royal Rumble, especially if they're after announcing it now.
It should be interesting all the same. We'll leave you with this final piece of news. Gabe Sapolsky, the Vice President of Talent Relations, Creative and Marketing for WWN Live, will be signing an official contract with the WWE as a consultant, according to reports. The report notes that Pawlowski, who has been working on a handshake agreement with the WWE for months, helping out specifically with the NXT tapings, will retain his position and responsibilities with WWN Live and the Evolve Wrestling promotion, and that this can be seen as a growth between the relationship between WWE and WWN Live. So it seems like now they're trying to maybe, it's like an NXT under NXT, the way it's working out with WWN Live.
Well, it looks like that's what, like, we've seen it now with the likes of Progress and obviously OTT, that WWE and especially the NXT brand are trying to reach out and get these partnerships with these indie companies, which is a great thing for the companies and for fans alike and stuff. So there's a more chance, like we've obviously seen the likes of Apollo Crews are going to be going to events now soon.
And we've seen so many guys,
Noam Dar and Chris Hero and everything taking part in the likes of ICW.
Jack Gallagher recently.
Jack Gallagher in Progress as well.
Have you seen that match? But yeah,
I haven't seen it.
I actually did see that match. It's actually a quality match, him and Pete Dunne. It really is. No, like and you know, it's actually the proper heel Jack Gallagher. Like the way we see it now, it's awesome and stuff like that. Yeah. And when you see him to Brian Kendrick, but this is him by himself, and it actually is quality the way he presented himself in that match. Like, so he felt it looked so small though beside Dunn though for some reason. That size wasn't apparent as much. Like
he wasn't wearing the suit anyway.
No, he was wearing these long tights, but his socks was in the front with his boots. Yeah. So, but no, it's like it's something you should do. Like he only wears the suit now, and then it's in 205 Live now. So yeah. So, but again, going back to this, like, so it could be interesting now. For all we know, like guys in Evolve, we have guys like Timothy Thatcher or Matt Riddle or Tracy. What's his name? Oh, his name was in my head a second ago. Oh, well, not him. Yeah, but. I forget his name, but then you have Keith Lee and stuff like that as well, though. So imagine Keith Lee in WWE or NXT.
God,
how well would he do?
He'd do well in NXT. I wouldn't know about now WWE too much.
It's probably too early to say. Like we'll have to see what happens. Now let's continue on our show now with our results of the week.
Oh my God! What the hell is going on? Oh my God!
And we'll start off with Monday Night Raw.
Welcome to Monday Night Raw.
Raw started this week with Reigns saying that Joe wasn't ready for him last week and got silenced. Last week he was fighting with a purpose, so in dedication to Dean Ambrose. Jason Jordan came out, making his way to the ring, saying that he watched Reigns beat over Joe and he felt like he was part of something special, and started talking about how we are like he's like as if he was part of the Shield, and thanked Reigns, offering like a fist pump. I have to say, you said the picture you sent on Twitter of this was, I laughed so much when you sent me that. So I'm saying, oh, my dad said I can be part of the Shield now.
My dad said you have to let me join the Shield. Yeah. I was very proud of that.
No, I don't blame you. No, I was proud of you.
Just that picture was perfect, putting his hand out for the fist bump and Reigns looking away
with a sympathetic look on his face. and here's Reigns going, what the hell? Reigns obviously didn't look wasn't really into a friendly fisting, so to speak, until Seth Rollins arrived. Said to Jordan,
a friendly what?
Friendly fists. I meant pump, I suppose I meant by that.
Yeah, sure.
Switch that dirty minds off, man. You got me all flustered now, thanks to that. Seth Rollins arrived and says Jordan.
So with a gentle fisting.
See what you started. See what you started. Said that Jordan has
professionalism down the drain.
Said that Jordan has a lot to learn. He knows Jordan means well, but Jordan says that this is their moments. They are all champions and they run the show. Reigns said that he's the guy and Jordan is just Seth's partner. Jordan says that they may be the most dominant group in all of WWE. Finn Balor and the Good Brothers then arrived and believed that they object. Balor asks if Jordan really believes what he's saying, and Balor says that he and his brothers were together for 10 years before Jordan even knew Angle was his dad. Gallows went on to
I didn't think that slam was as funny as it was made out to be.
What?
I knew these lads 10 years before you even know who your dad was. I didn't get it. Like, I think it was just the delivery wasn't great. He was so quick to try and say it.
Yeah, but you get it what he means. Like, he's saying like, oh, well, I've been friends with these guys for longer before you even knew you had a father, essentially. It makes sense if you ask me. I don't know what the confusion's about.
It wasn't working. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. I don't know why.
Anyway, Gallows said they went on to they started out on their own, but now they're together to take this place over, and how 2018 will be the year of the Balor Club. Jordan says he's part of the Champions Club, but Balor jokes about Jordan not being part of the Shield, and they push and shove. Angle arrives and then makes a 6-man tag for later on. So it's a star, as you imagine, for the main events, which seems to be the thing now for their shows. But we're on.
Finn is so happy right now.
I don't blame him.
Have you seen like his Instagram and Twitter posts?
I haven't.
He's loving being back with Gallows and Anderson. He's tweeting stuff like, "I'm so happy," putting pictures of him smiling and everything. It's so good to see you like that.
Oh,
so good. Like I put the question out on Twitter as well, like the Balor Club. Would you rather them go heel or stay as face?
I'm open with both.
I would rather heel. If I had to pick one, I'd rather heel.
I think to be classed as heel.
Yeah.
And it would go back to it actually literally would go back to the original Bullet Club. That's how Finn started to become more get his push in Japan.
Yeah,
because he would start the Bullet Club with Carl Anderson, Bad Luck Fale, and Tamatonga. Eventually, Luke Gallows, and they became the Bullet Club.
Yeah, exactly.
And Devon was one of the most hated heels then. So
so there was one part, and like you don't think of it unless you don't notice it unless you think about it in hindsight. But you know when they went into the ring and then Jordan was giving it like trying to be like the guy, like, oh, we're the best trio, like we're the best friend and blah blah blah, we're the like club of champions and stuff. And then obviously Seth has his hand in his head in his hand and stuff like that. But then like then Balor is going to Gallows and Anderson saying, guys, what's that word we call him? You know that word that you call him. You know, oh yeah, I think I know that. You know the word that begins with N, and then I'm just kind of like, don't say it, don't say it.
Why did I guess you're going to bring that up? Why did I guess you're going to bring that up?
But come on,
I know
it was such a perfect setup.
I see what you mean.
And then obviously it was nerds.
Oh dear. Yeah, but you knew straight away that if it's Luke what else are going to say?
I know they were never going to say it, but it was still that little bit of like,
it's not like they're wearing Confederate flags on them or something like that.
I know. It's still, it was still, I thought it was quite funny.
It was funny. Sasha Banks and Bayley took on Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Mickie James and Paige were at ringside. Ended when Deville and Banks worked on a double down, and Rose tagged in and knocked Bayley to the floor and continues to work over Banks. Banks managed to roll up and it breaks down. Bayley takes Deville to the floor and Banks hits the backstabber and Banks statements, and Rose had to tap. It was a good match. What I liked about the match is that it gave Deville and Rose more confidence in the ring. Like,
we talked about it, I think, 2 weeks ago, that because of Paige's injury, this is the time now for Rose and Sonya to actually cement their place on the Raw roster.
It's a positive
because they had Paige leading them and all eyes would be on Paige, but now all eyes are on them, so they're gonna have to like step up, I think, a lot sooner than probably Vince wanted them to.
But to be fair, they're doing very well. Very well.
There was no problems with the match. I had no problems with it.
No, so believe me, in my opinion, they've earned their keep already. Like, so that's my view.
We already know from NXT Sonya's a really good wrestler. It's more Randy that the question. Randy. No, Randy Orton isn't with them. Mandy Rose is the question mark because she hasn't featured a lot on NXT, and obviously she's
a better wrestler than I thought she'd be, that's for sure.
Yeah, true. Yeah, she is. Well, I didn't have any expectations because I haven't seen anything of her. Yeah. Because I've seen the bit.
I've seen Little Lovers.
I saw the bit on. Obviously, she was on Tough Enough.
Yeah.
And that was a while ago. And then obviously she was well known for then joining the Total Divas cast after it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was on the Total Divas cast, and she got a lot. Well, she didn't get a lot of heat, but she was. They were trying to tie her with Eva Marie at the time when she was back in NXT and everything.
I see what you mean.
She even had the sense to actually not tag with Eva Marie, so she's a lot smart. She's very smart.
Well, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why she's in better form. Matt Hardy Woken Matt Hardy made his in-ring debut against Kurt Hawkins. Kurt Hawkins is now 0-153 after this match. Ended with side effect.
I know if he tries hard enough, he can make that 200 record.
Oh, he can. Oh,
I believe he can.
I mean, if he doesn't try hard enough, he'll get to 200. Yeah. After the match, Wyatt routes the ring, and Matt laughs at them whilst Wyatt laughs back. That's that. They continue.
What did you think of the Matt Hardy theme? The new theme from Broken Matt Hardy.
I can't complain.
I like the music. Didn't like the Titantron. It was still saying Hardy Boys. I thought they might have changed that.
Well, to be fair,
or had something ready.
Maybe they're waiting to reveal that for the Rumble.
Why though? If you played the music, why would you wait for the Titantron reveal? Wouldn't it be the other way around?
No, I'd rather have the theme first.
I don't know. I'd rather just have them both there, to be honest.
Yeah, no, maybe, but
you know, just the whole like the purple and the green and everything just doesn't fit in with this smoking Matt Hardy character.
Maybe it could be next week, for all we know, when it comes. So up to.
I have a feeling that they forgot the file and they had to go back to the old one. You know, the video file that has the new.
Strangely,
Titantron.
that wouldn't surprise me. I don't know.
I know it's the only thing that would really make sense, because you wouldn't hold back a Titantron visual sort of thing if you had the theme.
Yeah,
you'd hold both of them back.
Maybe. Miz TV. Elias burst out into a tune singing about Elvis and then changing the song to a welcome to the Miz back. Axel and Dallas were out with Miz. Alice bailed as the crowd was happy to have Miz back. He's done with the Marine 6 and the Holiday Uso tour, and he's back to make Raw a must-see TV again. Bo Alec...
USO, not Uso.
Uso. Oh, USO, excuse me.
USO.
He praised Dallas and Axel, and they thank him for mentioning them. They lead the crowd with a "Thank you, Miz" chant, and Dallas gives Miz a photo of the Miz. Then Axel gives Miz his jacket. Then Dallas gives him his watch, and then they go back and forth until eventually Miz ends the shenanigans, saying he hasn't forgotten about the Shield powerbombing him to a table before he left. He then allows Reigns to borrow the IC title because he wanted the title to be around while he was gone. But Daddy's home. He will become a father and will become the longest reigning IC champion of all time, and will be the great that kids remember as the greatest IC champion of all time. He's back and is coming for the title, and you can believe that. This is a night of great promos, by the way, but that started it off. Like, once all that weirdness with Dallas and Axel ended, went straight to the points.
Yeah, exactly, and obviously having Miz back is going to help immeasurably.
I actually like Miz when he's very serious.
Yeah,
I really do. He's actually an excellent promo when he's serious. Don't get me wrong, he's entertaining regardless. But
I look at it in a different light now, just because. Did you see he did a video where they look back at pictures of his career, and he told stories behind the pictures.
Yes, yeah, that's I don't know
the Daniel Bryan one.
Yes.
Yeah, how he actually that was all a shoot.
Yeah, it was pent up frustration.
That Daniel Bryan didn't even know what was going to happen, because earlier on that day they told him on Smackdown, "We have nothing for you today," and he got really pissed off. He said, "I'm the Intercontinental Champion. You don't have anything for the Intercontinental Champion. What do you mean?" He says, "Well, sorry, we're focusing more on the new titles, because at that time they were only introducing the women's and the tag team." So he says, "Right, put me on Talking Smack. I'll give you something for me." And that's when he just
went off. And he thought Daniel Bryan was going to punch him.
Yeah, he thought it numerous times. There was one time when Daniel Bryan stood up to leave. He thought Daniel Bryan was standing up to punch him. So it's so good how just on the fly that he can just think of stuff like that.
Goes to show you how good of a promo he is.
Yeah, and there's a reason why. That's the reason why Rolling Stone made him the Wrestler of the Year.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
doesn't surprise me. Enzo Amore defended his cruiserweight title against Cedric Alexander. It ended when Alexander catched Enzo with a kick and hit his springboard clothesline. Enzo rolled to the floor and Alexander whipped him out with a tope, but Enzo sells the ankle. Looks pretty bad actually, and there was a count out then. So good match, but was actually, I don't know if he's actually injured or if it was a shoot or if it was a work or I don't know. But the way he rolled his ankle was pretty bad actually. To be fair, the way it looked.
I'm not too sure if it's a shoot.
Yeah,
or not yet.
We'll have to see what happens, I suppose. But regardless, he's not in the mixed match challenge now. Well, I think that was partly because he was ill, as opposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, there's rumours he was kicked out of Raw last week.
Again?
I don't know what the reason.
No, that was because he showed up to actually work.
Okay.
But he was too sick and Vince sent him home.
Okay. Sorry, that was his birthday. That was the best.
His eye got a really bad cut though, didn't it?
I seen that, yeah.
That was really bad.
He said on his Instagram page, I think, that, "Oh, look, I have half of Finn Balor's paints now," but unfortunately it's not paint.
Yeah, that's one of their strangest friendships, I think, in WWE.
Probably, yeah.
Finn and
you get the impression
Finn and Enzo.
You get the impression that Finn gets along with everybody, though.
Yeah, well, not like Enzo, because he brought Enzo back to his house and everything.
I remember that, yeah, during the Christmas. Not during the Christmas. No, it was during the European tour. Yeah. Backstage, Angle was on the phone trying to bring back an old name for the Women's Rumble. Was interrupted then when the Bar arrived and said they wanted a tag team rematch. Angle booked him in a tag match at the Royal Rumble, a tag team title match at the Rumble, but Angle found him opponents for later that night. Miz then arrived and hyped his new unscripted TV show on USA. He wants his IC title rematch. He wants it for Raw's 25th anniversary. Angle agrees. So interesting to wonder who he could be on the phone with. That could be anybody.
You never know who these people are on the phone with.
Yeah. Sheamus and Cesaro then later on took on Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. Ended with O'Neil runs wild for a bit, gets distracted, and Cesaro attacks. Sheamus hits a knee strike and tags in. Crews dumps Cesaro. Cesaro misses a bro kick and O'Neil rolls up for the win. Very surprising win. Yeah. But I was
why do that to the Bar? What's the point?
I think the problem that WWE have in general with their tag teams, they have so many of them now that they don't know what to do. And they're trying to heat up one. Maybe they could easily add the O'Neil and Crews now because of this into the match and the Rumble now. It was mentioned now Cesaro and Sheamus will take on Jordan and Rollins. Probably know now Titus will be involved now because of this.
No.
I know it doesn't sound right.
No. You can't get a title shot because of one victory. Doesn't know. No.
Against guys?
No.
Against number one contenders? No. What I'm particularly surprised about...
They've had a losing streak for the last while. No.
Maybe the competition's so thin. I don't know. Yeah. What I'm most surprised is where's Revival in all this?
Yeah, they were only back last week.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're just not pushing them too much. They're going to wait till after the Rumble.
Maybe because of all their injuries and stuff like that. Taking it easy. Now, Paul talks, Brock hops, Braun kills. Heyman does his usual introduction, then it talks old school and how he and Brock respect that, but wrestling is a progressive industry and we've gotten away from something important, and that is a one-on-one championship match. One man stepping into the champion, but now it's how Brock can survive against the latest challenges. Last week Lesnar took Kane's best shot and laughed in his face like he'll do at the Rumble against Kane Strowman. Heyman puts over Lesnar's dominance and saying no one will put him down. Kane then attacks Lesnar as Lesnar leaves and they brawl to the floor and spills backstage to continue the brawl. Braun arrives and throws Lesnar through a table. The way he threw him, by the way, and looked like a massive amp or something like that fell on his arm. On his arm as well.
I thought he was bleeding from it at one stage.
No, I thought he broke his arm from the fall from it. So. Tossing a production box onto him. No, that fell on him. It came from a height or something like that. So
see, look, just. Yeah.
No, sorry, that was Kane. Sorry, he threw the production box at Kane.
Yeah, he threw the production box at Kane and then threw it on top of him.
Yeah. Braun then took a grappling hook and pulled down a giant light rigging onto Lesnar and Kane, setting up another potential murder in WWE programming.
Look, Braun was only helping the ring guys take the stage down. The only problem is that Kane and Brock decided to lie on them. Okay? That's all.
Oh, but it shows how scary Braun is as well. Like so.
Yeah, like the question I put out there on Twitter as well: is this building Braun up to take the title off Brock, or is it just building these two guys up to make Brock's victory even better, to make him this unbeatable force? I think it's the latter.
Me too, unfortunately. Yeah. No. I think we're pretty certain with the minute. It's going to be him and Reigns at WrestleMania.
Yeah, they're trying to build it up so that when they're trying to build both Kane and obviously Braun up this past week, to this level so that the loss can't hurt them.
Indeed, and to be fair, like I imagine as we talked about last week, it's going to be one of these types of WWE title matches where it could be between Kane and Strowman. Majority of the time, let's say Lesnar's hurting the outside, and all of a sudden he comes in, creates a storm, and
we talked about that last week. Yeah, where Brock is going to be out for most of this match.
Yeah. Samoa Joe took on Rhino with Heath Ledger at ringside. It ended when Atomic Drop, Big Boots and Senton all connect and Joe covers for two. Joe locks in the clutch. Kokita clutch. Drags Rhino into the mat and that's that. Strong rebound performance from Joe on the back of his loss to Reigns the past week. He said after the match that Reigns' win last week came at a great loss and he's beaten years off Reigns' career every time they face, and when Roman crumbles he'll be there to finish the job. But until then, he announces his participation in the Rumble match and vows to eliminate John Cena first. Really strong promo.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I hate to think he's really hurt now. Like, apparently now it's speculation that it's a work. I actually hope it is now, because imagine how much more of a shock now it'll be when Joe is at the Rumble and probably does eliminate Cena.
Joe entered number 30 and wins it.
That's a great.
We did speculate, actually, didn't we, before the show, that the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania is Fastlane. It's a Smackdown pay-per-view.
It is.
And they have just given away the main event, it being a fatal 5-way between Nakamura, Orton, AJ Styles, Owens and Zayn for the WWE title.
Yes.
Which leading us to believe that neither of them is actually going to win the Royal Rumble.
Here's us saying Nakamura last week as well.
Nakamura could be one of the top guys. So a Joe type winning the Royal Rumble, but how does that play into then the Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar main event for WrestleMania?
I have no idea. Unless I don't know. Like, see, as I said, I can't see anyone from Raw winning it. Then, like I really don't. Because if Reigns and Brock is for the Universal title, it has to be a SmackDown guy who wins the Rumble.
Yeah.
End of story.
Does Joe make the move to SmackDown?
Could. Would it be a bad thing for Raw then if he leaves then? Would SmackDown need him more, or would Raw need him more?
Raw do need him more.
That's the thing.
They do.
Unless they make it a triple trap match.
Well, we're saying that he's going to win it, but I don't think he's going to win it.
Yeah.
That's the case. He might just be a surprise come entrant in it.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think he'd be number 30, but you never know. We'll see what happens. Now, Asuka took on Nia Jax, or was supposed to take on Nia Jax, if you like. Before the match, Alexa Bliss met up with Jax, asked about Enzo, kissing up to her, and Jax mentioned she's entering the Rumble, but Bliss said that people think Asuka is the favourite. Bliss says that if Jax takes out Asuka, they could face off at Mania. Jax isn't buying it at first, but demands to hear what Asuka said about her. Jax asks if Bliss speaks Japanese, and then Asuka says that. And then she says that Asuka doesn't speak English and doesn't buy any of it. Then later on, the match actually doesn't officially start between Asuka and Jax. As Jax attacks Asuka during her entrance and hits an electric chair drop and a rolling senton.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and it gives Asuka more competition going to the Rumble. So in a way, it's needed.
Exactly.
Like, it shows that Asuka isn't the only dominant lady really going into this.
Probably they're building Asuka up for this. They're probably going to have a match between Asuka and Nia, where Asuka will beat Nia to like cement of how big of a threat she is in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. And finally, the main event.
Because they're not giving away her. Win-loss record.
Absolutely.
Before the Royal Rumble.
Absolutely. Finally, Finn Balor, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson against Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan. It ends when Rollins hits Gallows with an enziguri, fights off Balor, and then Jordan rushes in and the ref doesn't see the tag to Reigns. Magic killer on Rollins. Reigns cleans house and argues with Jordan. Reigns fights off the Good Brothers to the floor. Jordan tries to help Rollins, but Balor takes him out with a shotgun dropkick on Rollins and a double stomp. Balor picks up the win. Post-match then, Axel, the Miz Taraj then beat down Reigns. Miz hits the skull crushing finale, and then the Shield bomb. This is all ahead of the IC title rematch then at Raw 25.
It's just interesting.
It was actually the best wrestling match of the whole show, actually. It's
very interesting, and I wonder, do you have the music ready for a fantasy booking?
Bear with me.
Actually, would this be considered fantasy booking? Yes, let's do fantasy booking.
Hang on, I'll have it right in front of me. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. Ready? Go for it. Reality
This is my yard now.
versus fantasy.
I'm not finished with you!
Go ahead.
There's a lot of talk these past few weeks about trios.
Yeah.
You know, Balor Club back together, Shield,
Miz
Taraj, New Day. Could we be seeing a 6-man tag title championship coming to WWE soon?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. More to the point, there's 3 on Raw and 1 on SmackDown.
1 on SmackDown. There's 2
on NXT.
There's
3 in NXT.
3 on NXT.
No, 2 actually.
2, yeah. 2 on NXT.
There's not enough 3.
You can make teams if you need to.
You could. There's certainly enough established ones there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting question. I don't. It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
It's definitely an interesting one. The idea has certainly become popularized lately. Well, you have another one?
No, forget about that.
All right.
Forget about the title thing. You just reminded me about the NXT one.
Yeah.
They want to build the War Games. Balor Club, Miz Taraj, Shield. That's your War Games match.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to be having an Elimination Chamber. They're having a War Games.
Oh yeah, they're at Elimination Chamber on Raw, aren't they?
What's the first pay-per-view after?
Elimination Chamber. But
No. The first pay-per-view after Royal Rumble. It's not Elimination Chamber.
It's Elimination Chamber for Raw.
Is it?
Yes.
War Games.
How will that work though if they're having an Elimination Chamber match and
change the name of this? You can easily just change the name of the pay-per-view to War Games.
Maybe.
That makes sense then if there's a Raw winner of the or if there's a Smackdown winner of the
it does.
Royal Rumble.
It does. Oh no, if they were to use War Games, they'd use it for both that rivalry and to decide the number one contender.
No.
Actually, wait, no, because Reigns will be involved in that as well.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm not sure it would work then.
I think they're having a War Games.
I disagree. I like the idea of it, but I personally can't see it.
For War Games, well.
Could be. Personally, I can't see it, but we'll see. That'll be interesting, actually. And if they test it out, it's been successful.
They tested it out, and then if you remember the Shark Cage, they did it in NXT, and then they put it on for, a pay-per-view in WWE afterward. What if they could they realistically do it?
I don't know.
Could they realistically do it at Royal Rumble?
No, they cannot.
Why not?
A War Games match at the Royal Rumble.
Why not?
Imagine if someone got eliminated and got eliminated to the other ring. Does that count as elimination?
It helps. It helps if you have if you can use two rings for it.
I don't know. It does. It does, but I think it takes away a lot of the drama of it as well.
It could do. I'm just throwing it out there that they have these trio teams now.
Yeah.
They've tested it in NXT. It was a success.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I think before we go, I think everyone were.
If they can't do it at the Royal Rumble,
right?
25th anniversary of Raw.
They'd hype it up. They'd hype it up by now, though, wouldn't they?
No, don't need to.
Maybe.
But they have another what? What date you say? The 11th. The anniversary of Raw is what?
Imagine they just opened the show. Oh, you're probably wondering why we have two rings this evening.
No, hold on. Let me just see. When is the 25th anniversary of Raw? Is it the Monday before or the Monday after Royal Rumble?
I think it's the Monday before. 25th. I think it's it's Monday before. So not this week or not next week. The week after. I think.
Let me just have a quick look. I have it here. I'll get it for you now.
Because I mentioned, Miz mentioned, or the commentary mentioned, I think that's in 2 weeks that rematch. So I'm more certain it's not next week, the week after.
They're not giving me a date. Why won't you give me a date?
You're checking Raw 25th and it's not working.
What?
You're checking Raw 25th and it's not working.
23rd of January, sorry.
23rd of January. So yeah,
whoa. Yeah.
23rd. So yeah, that's the Raw. 23rd. So that's the Raw before.
It's the Raw before the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is 28th.
All right.
Yeah.
Have to see what happens. Anyway, let's move on to SmackDown.
On to the Rock Show, to the premier show, SmackDown.
I still think they're going to do it.
I'm not sure.
I
don't think it's fully thought through yet. So for it to happen like that. So, but I could be wrong. Like you could be right. But I have to see it to believe it. But anyway, AJ started the show, being interviewed by Renee Young. They talk about having to defend the title at the Rumble in a handicap match. He said he didn't think that Bryan would take him seriously and make the match. When asked about Bryan's decision if they're fair, he says no, but life isn't fair, he says. He says they may have victories over him, but would rather face them one-on-one, even in the same night. He doesn't know if Bryan is playing favourites or what he's thinking. When asked about Shane refuses to point fingers. He's had enough to deal with at the Rumble with Kevin, Sami and can't allow to take his title. Kevin and Sammy arrive. They mock Styles for backtracking and trying to get out of their match and say it'll be a miracle for Styles to retain. Kevin says Styles has no chance of walking out with the title. They'll take the house that AJ built into the Kevin and Sammy show. Yep. Shane McMahon arrives, saying that it's not fair that Styles has to defend the title in the handicap match, but doesn't know why Bryan made the match. But he backs Bryan's decision for now. Bryan trained and booked a handicap match for that night. Kevin and Sammy against Nakamura, Orton, and Styles. So it's more the same, really. Like it's a SmackDown thing. Do you think this whole thing though with Bryan and Shane, or the way it's been booked, is marginalising Styles as a champion?
Yes, it is a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the championship is taking a back step to this rivalry, and I don't think it should be like that.
So the title shouldn't be involved in it, like, so.
No.
Maybe, yeah. Oh no, I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's working so far. Like, maybe people are being too skeptical about it, but we'll have to see what happens in the future. Becky Lynch made her in-ring return against Ruby Riott. It ended with Ruby cutting off Lynch, attacking the ribs, but Lynch cut off the kick and locked in her disarmer to make Ruby tap. Becky got her revenge. It didn't break it down for a brawl for a change. It was just simple as this time. So, not more to say about that.
It was quite similar to the finish of the Raw match between the...
Yeah, you were saying that, actually, yeah.
Very
Kind of ironic.
similar.
The Bludgeon Brothers took on the Ascension. The Ascension attacked the bell, rushing into the Bludgeon Brothers, but Harper cuts them off, hits a killer bomb on Victor. That's that squash. Nothing more to say about that again.
Pretty much like it's what the Bludgeon Brothers should be doing, so I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. Zack Ryder took on Mojo Rawley in the last US title quarterfinal of the tournament. It ended when they were back into the ring and Ryder followed with strikes, but Rawley hit an atomic drop and then posts Ryder. Ryder then hits his running KO shot and wins. I'm liking this aggression from Rawley. He's actually making an excellent heel so far, I have to say.
He is, and his unscripted promos that he's doing himself are actually really good.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of them?
I haven't seen a few of them, yeah. So
yeah, you've seen the obviously the one that he did before the Clash of Champions match, and then he did another one before Smackdown. Like, those are good. If he can transition them into the Smackdown live show itself, I think it would work really well with the crowd and help him get over as a heel even more.
He's still wearing all yellow though. I've noticed.
I know he's got to change that attire.
I've noticed actually before he wore black with a yellow stripe. We should just go back to that.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
He wore that at the last year's Rumble. The Rumble from last year is up on YouTube now.
Yeah,
and he had those tights, I think. So just go by that or something like that. Post match, Bobby Roode, who was at ringside, and Riley had a standoff as well. Then backstage, Jinder Mahal cut a promo talking about his WWE title run. He's now focused on the US title and will defeat Xavier Woods next week. That should be an interesting match, actually. So I can see Mahal winning this whole thing. It'll be between him and Roode the final, I reckon. Unless some weird fate, something weird happens.
Yeah. Xavier, yeah, I would see Xavier Woods in the final now.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
I'd love to see him.
I'd love to, but I don't think so.
This is probably the best promo on SmackDown now. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin arrived discussing their tag team title match last week, and they want justice because they think they should be champions. Gable was wearing a Free the Tag Team #Free the Tag Titles shirt. Gable talks about the hard work it takes to be a winner. You give up a lot to chase a goal and to be a success. He asks the crowd if they know that feeling. Benjamin runs down Alabama as says just because they won a national championship the fans won nothing. He then says Georgia was robbed due to poor officiating, just like they were last week. They pinned the Usos last week and freed the tag titles. They were celebrating, feeling the ecstasy, and when a new ref came out and took it all away from them, they held the titles taken away over jealousy. That ref was a thief and a tattletale. The Benjamin said he's a snitch and snitches. Sorry, he's a snitch and snitches get stitches. I love that line, by the way. They demand justice and they want to free the tag titles. They didn't lose to Usos. They just got instant replay. Daniel Bryan arrives and says he knows that feeling and knows all the hard work they put in, but Gable isn't interested in knocking management, it's just referees. Bryan said that the referee's decision is final. Benjamin agrees, and then that they won the match, that the title's only for to be overturned, but Bryan said that they pinned the wrong Uso. Bryan said that the ref did the right thing and he stands behind him. Gable didn't care about feelings, and he went on to say that he's taking things out on them because Shane is mad at him. Gable said that they did anything they have to do, and he asked if if they have to beat them twice in one night. And then Bryan straight on that booked the 2 of the 3 Falls match between them and Usos at the Rumble. Went on a bit long, but it was an excellent promo. Chad Gable was excellent in this, especially.
Yeah, they sort of cemented themselves there as the heel tag team.
Yeah, properly now. So they're officially
properly
heels now.
Like, if you had some doubts, that's it now.
Yeah.
They are the heels, so you can sort of get over your question.
Hashtag free the tag titles.
Hashtag what?
Hashtag free the tag titles.
Hashtag free the tag titles.
I like it.
Yeah, wouldn't it be if it's a long one? Free the titles. You know?
Yeah.
Free the titles.
Here's another thing, actually. You mentioned earlier on how maybe how Raw and SmackDown booking is very similar. Here's another example of that. I just realised it literally just now, between the match between Breezango and Rusev Day. As usual, the match ended anyway, where Breeze tags in Fandango. He runs wild on English. Rusev tags in, cutting off Fandango and kicks and takes out Breeze. But Fandango gets the roll up and Rusev Day is cancelled as Rusev gets pinned. Very similar to the match between the Bar and Titus Worldwide.
Yeah, did they just get lazy this week, the writers?
Probably.
It seems like it.
It was a very good match, but again, the booking's questionable.
Yeah.
You know, because like here's Rusev, who's incredibly over right now. I know, and I like the idea that they're trying to push the Breezango again-ish.
Yeah.
But why would you do that at Rusev's expense?
Exactly. Similar to the Bar, why does Rusev in English need to have a loss at this point?
Yeah.
You're building them like they're building obviously the Bar and Rusev in English differently. But in terms of the Bar, you're trying to build them up to be tag team title contenders.
Yeah.
Which they have been. There was no need to build them. They already have been. But you're making them like letting them lose a bit of credibility, because people are going to say, well, if Titus Worldwide can beat you, how do you expect to beat the tag champions? And then similar to Rusev in English, like if you want a tag team title match, how come you can't beat Breezango?
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it. Like
it's confusing.
Those two teams, well, especially English and Rusev, English and Rusev is the most over tag team in WWE right now. Why aren't you cashing in on that? Because it's a perfect example, because they looked at it's a perfect example because of who they faced this week.
Yeah.
Breezango were like the most over tag team for weeks and weeks and weeks, but they never pulled the trigger on them. They kept having them do those skits.
All those vignettes.
For no reason. And they never pulled the trigger.
Still are.
And never pulled the trigger on them actually going after the tag team champions.
They actually did, but it was so brief.
It was one match.
I know.
One match.
That's the thing.
And now you have this opportunity again. You've gotten this opportunity through Rusev's hard work in trying to put himself over, which is working. And the fact that like the person that you would never think would actually compliment Rusev so well, but he's doing a great job in English. Pull the trigger on them. Do it. Put them in the title match.
Responded in the back of the Vaudevillains.
Put the titles on them.
Yeah.
But no, they have them lose to Breezango for no reason.
Boggles the minds.
Wasn't even a dirty win, it was a clean win. I don't know with the tag team booking sometimes. Sometimes they get it so right. But
in this case, it got so wrong.
And then sometimes
both Raw and SmackDown got
they
wrong.
They balled it up completely.
Yeah. Backstage, Bryan was happy with the fashion police, and then Shane then arrived, questioning Bryan's decisions. Shane said if Bryan was okay because he's coming off as unstable. But Bryan says the same to Shane, especially considering his family history. It's getting particularly uncomfortable now between them. They actually agreed to disagree this time. So
agree to disagree. They shake their hands and they walk off. A gentleman way of doing it, yes, but still a bit weird.
It's gone back to what you said last week of how we don't know.
Yeah.
Is it becoming too uncertain? I mean, just uncertain.
It's just contradictory. That's what it is.
Maybe. But that's not a bad thing, I don't think either. I like it personally, but I don't know.
I don't know. I think if they were to do this on a SmackDown when the show was good, I think we would have been able to forgive it.
Oh, okay.
The fact that the show in general was kind of so poor, then I think we're kind of adding them into it, like we're compounding on it a little more.
I gotcha. And main event anyway, AJ Styles, Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura in a handicap match against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They first of all, Sami and Kevin tease off walking up, and then Shane arrived saying it's no count out match, which is kind of strange to mention first. No count out before it's no DQ. That's maybe it's just me. Then later on the match, Orton runs wild on Sami, hits a snap slam, dripping DDT follows. He teases an RKO, but Kevin makes the save with a steel chair. Shane then comes out, makes the match anything goes. Styles attacks with chair shots and chases Kevin backstage. Orton and Nakamura surround Sammy and chase him. Sammy runs and they catch him and post him. Orton gets the steps, hits Sammy and they toss him around the announce table. Orton then slams Sammy off the table and rolls him back. Kinshasa from Nakamura and RKO there from Orton for the win. Again, a bit backwards in the way, because the only thing I'm a bit wary about, why would they put the heels in disadvantage? Like, would that be a good thing or a bad thing in this case?
I don't know. It's kind of like this tit for tat thing week for week. Is, oh, you got the better of me last week, now I'm going to try and get the better of you this week.
And more than anything, it's over. The whole thing has been overlooked by this whole quest for power between Shane and Shane and Bryan right now.
Yeah.
So I really pray. I like to think there's a big payoff for this, but it's hard to see at this moment in time. It's one of these things where you just hope.
Yeah.
Like I like to think they're doing it like this for a reason. What do you think?
It has to obviously be for a reason. Not doing it for the crack.
Yeah.
There has to be some sort of payoff at the end of this.
I imagine so.
What is that payoff going to be, though? Is the payoff going to be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens being the first ever co-WWE champion? Which we haven't actually figured out what the rules are just yet of that.
Yeah.
We haven't been told anything. Like, is it that the person who pins AJ becomes the champion, or do they both become champion? How does it work?
Yeah, good question.
Is it going to be both men at the ring at the same time? Is it going to be tagging in and out? Like, what?
It's very similar in a way, except it's not as obviously said. In this case, where Owens was with Jericho last year, when Owens won the Universal title, his Jericho said, "Oh, we're a Universal champion."
Yeah, exactly.
Except it's more,
but it wasn't a handicap
there.
match. Jericho was just ringside.
Yeah. Let's quickly move on now to 205 and NXT. First of all, 205 Live. TJ Perkins took on Graham Metalik. Ended with TJP countering out of the Metalik driver, grabbing at the mask. He then hits a gutbuster for 2. TJP looks for a detonation kick. Metalik fires back and hits into Guri. He heads up top and the rope rock elbow drop on the Metalik driver connects for the win. TJP threw a bit of a temper tantrum after the match. He throws crap around the announce table because so he's basically gone from a bit of an overreactor now for losing now. So we'll see how that develops. It could be.
Does anyone actually honestly care about TJP anymore?
It's a shame because he's such a good wrestler.
Yeah, but it's just okay, interesting that you've said that, because it's similar to Natalya. Good wrestler, like poo gimmick.
Maybe it just needs a gimmick change, maybe, or something like that.
But he's had like 2.
Okay, well,
he's had 2 at this stage.
Well, maybe it's just a new appearance, something different. Oh no, maybe the way, because he's by and large the same person in 2 personalities, as opposed to being a completely different person.
Yeah,
he's still the same gimmick, but with 2 personalities.
Yeah,
change the gimmick. That's right.
Possibly.
Backstage, Enzo was interviewed following his injury. Says he's okay. He may get a Ford's tattoo because he's built Ford's tough. He said he defends the title tonight, but the doctors won't allow him. Tony Nese arrived and said he'll beat some sense into women once he's back on the O train. He said he'll beat Cedric Alexander in the evening. Jack Gallagher comes out saying that Itami isn't here because he's healing from the trashing he gave him last week. He took out Itami's revenge for what he did to Kendrick. He's here to ruin Itami's life. Then Itami's music hits. Itami makes his way to the ring. They start attacking each other. Gallagher gets the umbrella. Itami blocks a shot and chases Gallagher away with the umbrella. The feud continues. And the match between Alexander and Nese ends with Alexander looking for a neutralizer, but Nese catches him and gets a gut buster for 2. Alexander starts to fire up, lightened up Nese. The work into counters, but Alexander falls to the mat, grasping at his leg, but it was a trap as Alexander suckered Nese in and rolled him up for the win. What I liked about this match is that it actually shows now how determined Alexander is for being Cruiserweight champion. Because he's focused now, he'll do anything to win by faking an injury and winning. Bit of a heel tactic,
yeah.
But I like it. It shows how determined he is. He's not taking any crap.
True. I don't know.
I'm for it now. Don't know about yourself.
I'm not really up for anything on 205 at the moment.
Well, let's talk about NXT then.
To be fair, this is the first NXT I've gotten to watch live. Well, not so much live, but when it's actually on in a while. And I actually really enjoyed it.
What NXT it was.
I really liked the new place that they're in. They're in Georgia now. And it's got that really indie vibe.
No, wait a second. Is that the permanent place they're in now?
It's where they are for the next while anyway. I
Okay.
think they're moving. They're going to do like 4 weeks worth of tapings in Atlanta. I think they're doing 4 weeks worth of tapings somewhere else, and then they're going to go like that.
Oh, okay.
They're staying. I think they're leaving Full Sail for a while.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's got that really like enclosed space. Really like a proper indie event.
Okay.
And the one thing that I like that signifies how much of like an indie event it is sort of like you have to go down steps. It's the steps. It's so simple, but I feel like that's a real like showing that's an indie show.
OTT.
That's an indie show.
OTT.
Like OTT.
OTT go down steps.
OTT go down steps.
For
not
both
just in the Tivoli, also
in
the
National Stadium. Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shayna Baszler made her NXT debut. She in a match against Dakota Kai. But she worked on the arm of Kai, basically toying her around, laying in kicks and not really taking Kai at all. She stomps the crap out of Kai's arm. The way she took that stomp at the ends was nasty.
That was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, the ref stopped it, and as Kai was getting medical attention, Baszler choked her out until Ember Moon made the save. She was interviewed backstage. William Regal arrived. He was not pleased at all with what happened, and he says he sees through her games, no, that she won't get a title shot this way, and Baszler just blows him off and just says, "Okay, thanks for that."
Well, she goes like, "Are we done now?" and walks off.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
It's interesting though that what they're also doing with Shayna Baszler is they're doing recordings of her.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw this before the match was done with Dakota Kai.
Okay.
Where she's going around the performance center and they're seeing people pretend like she's basically being that, MMA snob. It's like, oh, you're pretending to do these moves you never trained in, a sort of thing.
Yeah.
So they were in the ring. It was Nixon Newell, Dakota Kai, and I can't remember the other girl's name. It was the girl that got in the choke eventually, but she was practicing doing sleeper holds on Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
And Shayna Baszler was recording and saying, "Hey, how about I show you how to do it
the
right way?"
Yeah.
And ends up choking her out. Yeah. And she's doing things like that around the performance center. It's a good little extra
piece,
angle onto her character, which I think will help her as well.
Yeah, it makes more sense. Cassius Ohno took on Raul Mendoza. Ended with Mendoza hitting Insecurity and a lucha arm drag. Disaster kick follows for 2. Ohno's then stunned Mendoza off the ropes and follows up with the running elbow strike for the win. Good match. Good rebound match for Ohno.
Yeah, I don't like that finisher though.
The rolling elbow?
No, he doesn't do the rolling elbow. It's the back of the head elbow.
Well, that's been his finisher, like, for in the Indies.
I know. I really preferred the rolling elbow.
Yeah,
I think it was a better finisher to do. I think that one just looks a little messy.
That's very it's more heelish, that one, if I'm honest with you. Like, I like it, but it's one of those ones, I guess. Where we backstage, Zelina Vega met with the media, pulling over Almas, saying that Gargano got lucky and he's not a fighter and he already defeated him twice, and how Gargano is a lie while Almas is the truth, and there is no running from the champion. Before we move on to that, you compared offstage. You competed Zelina Vega's voice to what's her name?
Rosie Perez.
from White.
If you don't know who Rosie Perez is, she's the woman from White Men Can't Jump.
Or what's that program that's on Sky One at the moment with Jack Whitehall?
I don't watch I'm gonna sound like a horrible. I don't watch TV.
I don't watch too much TV either. No, that's me as well. No, he's in this comedy/crime show with that comedian Jack Whitehall. Very funny guy.
Oh, right.
But I don't know for the life of me what it's called. But like she's basically like a secret agent coming from the United States, and they team up and taking out their bad guys and stuff.
Well, yeah, no, it's just because the promo from Zelina Vega, she was speaking like quite nasally.
Yeah,
through her nose a lot.
Very
similar to Rosie Perez.
That American Puerto Rican accent.
Sort of accent, exactly.
Gargano is then interviewed. He's thrilled to be number 1 contender, but Velveteen Dream arrived saying that he wants Gargano to say thank you, because he believes that Gargano got lucky beating Ono, while Dream would have beaten him in 30 seconds, not the 20 minutes it took Gargano. And Dream says that he will fail to win the title and he didn't earn his spots. Then backstage we see the Street Profits talking to William Regal, saying that they want a tag team title shot, and Regal is impressed enough with them to give them a number 1 contender shot against AOP next week. So that should be interesting.
Yeah.
Seems like the Street Profits are finally getting the opportunity.
They're getting their push, yeah. And like I like the way how they talked to Regal and said it to him. It's like, look, we're unbeaten. Why aren't we in the title picture?
Makes sense.
Yep.
Lars Sullivan took on Leo Rush, It was basically a back and forth match for a while,
it was not.
Cat and mouse.
It was a cat and mouse. He ran around.
That's what I mean by that. And Lars got angry eventually, slammed Rush into the corner. Rush moved. Lars charged and posted him. Lars got even angrier, hit a lariat and a freak accident for the win. Leo Rush was 23. After the match, Lars cut a promo saying that he's been taking out his opponents. Well.
No, I just like the way he said Leo Rush is 23.
And now he's keep on going, and he says he keeps on taking out his opponents, and now he keeps going back to 2 weeks ago and knows he dealt with a force like he's never dealt with before and wants to destroy that force, and that force is Killian Dean. He then hits Rush again with a freak accident off the second rope. I actually can't wait to see a match between Sullivan and Dean. So
that's going to be good.
It's going to be a quality match.
I have to mention as well, Lars Sullivan's entrance itself. I love
it's class, isn't it?
I love it. I love the fact that the lights just turn red, go straight onto him, and he's there, and then he gets into the ring, and then you can just see his silhouette. It's a proper way to build up a monster.
Yeah,
and I love it.
Yeah. Then backstage, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly attack Sanity ahead of their match. When they arrive into the ring, they kind of play it off saying, oh, they're missing something, where's Sanity? They joke about it, forgetting about the match, but Nikki Cross then comes and tries to attack them, but gets held back by referees.
That's brilliant, Nikki Cross.
It works.
I love Nikki Cross.
Regal then arrives, not happy at all, said there will be a tag title match. Roderick Strong arrives and Aleister Black joins them. New main event. It ends between Vision O'Reilly against Strong and Black. It ends when Strong is fired up, takes Fish to the floor and hits a running knee strike on O'Reilly for the double down. Black takes out Fish on the floor, but Cole attacks. Black gets angry and chases Cole into the crowd, leaving Strong alone to get taken out by the total elimination from Fish and O'Reilly for the win for them. The booking here is excellent, by the way, for this whole story between Strong and Black and the Undisputed Era right now, because you have the issues now in history now between Strong and the Undisputed Era. You have now Aleister Black coming in, who, let's not forget, both Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish's in-ring debuts for NXT were against Black, both losing efforts. And it's all coming together here now, so it's excellent booking the way they've thought of it, and this is all months ago.
And this Adam Cole Aleister Black match is just going to be brilliant. I think that's going to be a contender for match of the night.
I think so. So that's our results of the week. When we return, we will talk about our previews of the week, followed by our much anticipated TKO Kickie winners right after this short break.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com. In the future, roving bands of comic book podcasts will savage the wasteland, once known as the Internet. One podcast, the Grawlix Podcast, may not be the biggest, may not be the funniest, may not be the most well-spoken. Wait, what was my point again? Oh yes, the Grawlix Podcast. Listen to it at grawlixpodcast.com. That's GRAWLIX podcast.com.
We're back here on 90.3 Near FM with the Kick Out, your weekly pro wrestling guides. Why are you smiling, by the way?
Well, I was going to save it maybe for the end of the show, but we'll announce it now.
Okay.
Because if you're listening to this on the day it's released on Saturday, Saturday is the day that Dave gets his forfeit done.
Oh dear.
That's right. It's finally here. We wanted to wait till after Christmas. Then we finally gotten a day that we can both do it.
You know what? Actually, for some statistic strange reason, I'm looking forward to it.
You sadist.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I've gone back in training now in Five Factory.
Yeah.
Where we've asked the trainers to help us out in this case.
Yep. So, they have no problem doing it.
Oh, I say
absolutely none.
No. I like to think I get along with everybody, but I guess not everyone's.
You'll find out what they really think of you on Saturday.
No, I'll have to wait and see.
But yes, we're going to Fight Factory. We're actually both training on Saturday. And then afterwards, we are going to conduct the forfeit. We will record it, so it will be up on the Facebook and it will be up on YouTube as well. So it will be there for people to see.
Yeah.
Dave in all his
red chestness,
red-chested glory, we'll say. But yeah, so I know a few people have been asking about when we're going to do it, so I just thought we'd mention it to say that it is going to be this Saturday, probably at some stage during the week, maybe late next week.
It's going to happen. It has to happen.
we will have it up online.
And to be fair, like, it is what it is. I have to accept it. I lost fair and square. You won fair and square. Let's get it over with.
Yeah, exactly.
On that note, let's continue on our show with our previews of the week.
Why, look at what we have here, folks.
Which, ironically, that was actually a perfect
That was a preview, wasn't it? That was really actually a preview too, yeah.
OTT Contenders 5 will be tomorrow on Sunday, January 14th at the Ringside Club in the National Stadium in Dublin. There's still tickets available on eventbrite.ie. Matches announced include Darren Carney to take on Jordan Devlin, Doug Williams to take on Michael May, LJ Cleary to take on Dave Mastiff. By the way, LJ was onto us on Twitter, by the way, saying, "Oh, which Harry person are you talking about?" A-Kid to take on Scotty Davis, and then Gunfer Isaac and Raven Creed to take on the team of Debbie Cattell and Be Cool. So some pretty interesting matches ahead there. Uprising Wrestling in the Crumlin Roads Crawl will take place on Sunday, January 21st. Tickets are still available on eventbrite.co.uk. Matches announced include Curtis Murray to take on Chris Ridgway, Eddie Stone to take on Scotty Davis, Alexander Dean to take on Brian Corr, Amy Alonzi to take on Debbie Cattell, and a 6-man tag team match, Gavin Fitz, Gunter Isaac and Will Baston to take on Angel Cruz and Team P. Rick. The Kings of North and Stephen Cavell also set to appear. And finally, on Sunday 2 weeks from now, for the Raw Rumble, Lobo's Wrestling Parties will be back hosting the live screening of the Raw Rumble at Buskers in the Ball in Dublin. There's still tickets available on eventbrite.ie. They'll be showing the Raw Rumble live on Info, but also beyond that, they'll be showing NXT Philadelphia from the night before. There will also be performances from the Low Blows bands making their return. They're going to be doing like a lineup where it's not just WWE songs, but a lot of indie songs as well. So we heard a preview on their Facebook page where they were doing Love is Madness, which obviously is British Strong Style's theme. They're also making the return of their WWE karaoke contest with guest judges already announced. They've already announced Keno Carroll, Justy and Aaron Poole as judges for it. So
and Worky from the lads from the Flats have been announced.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
I must have missed that. That should be an interesting one. They'll also have the return of the Low Blows raffle and a pool tournament on the night. So a lot to look forward to for the Low Blows there. Well, now the time has come now. Now the time has come. We've been waiting for weeks for this now, but now it's finally time to announce our TKO Kickies winners. Our TKO Kicky Awards now. So first of all, we want to give a big thank you for everyone who voted on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Kickout Wrestling. It was actually a pretty awesome turnout. We had 22 awards up for grabs, 12 from being the Irish wrestling. But first, we're going to start off with the 10 awards from the World category. We'll start off with the World Male Wrestler of the Year. All very worthy contenders. The nominations were Kazuchika Okada, Kenny Omega, Tetsuya Naito, Roman Reigns, Adam Cole, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, and The Miz. Should we do a drum roll for this, or should we save it for the last one?
I kind of like a drum roll maybe for each one. Kind of build it up a little bit.
Let's do it then.
Want to do it that way?
Let's do it. So the winner of the TKO Kicky for World Wrestler of 2017. Oh, I like this. Builds up, and the winner is Kazuchika Okada. And quite frankly, there's no better wrestler in the world right now.
Deserved. I did mention earlier on in the show that The Miz was voted by Rolling Stone as Wrestler of the Year, which would have been a good shout as well. And obviously Omega, with the matches that he's had this year, would be a great shout too. Yeah, Okada is definitely the best choice for champion, or not champion, World Male of the Year. He's held the title all year.
Yeah.
He's had great matches all year.
Absolutely.
Beating everyone that's come near him. I don't think there's any other choice.
Yep. Let's move on now to the TKO Kicky for World Female Wrestler of the Year 2017. The nominations are Asuka, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Sienna, Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, and Gail Kim. Once again, we'll get the ball rolling. And the winner of the TKO Kickies for World Female Wrestler of 2017, Asuka.
Yeah.
Again.
Exact same reasons as Okada has held the championship pretty much all year. No one has beaten her. There's no other choice.
Yeah, pretty much. I couldn't agree with you more. Now, next one's is probably one of the tougher ones when you think about it. It's like,
yes, actually it was. So many different teams. This is the World Tag Team of the Year. So many different options, including the Usos. You've got the Bar, you've got the Hardys, you've got the Young Bucks as well. Don't forget too. You've got the likes of
I said nominations.
Evil and Sonata too. So I think we'll go straight to the drum roll and let's find out who it was.
Indeed we will. So the winner for the TKO Kickie for World's Tag Team of 2017 goes to the Usos.
Yes, well deserved.
Well
deserved.
They've literally changed so much. Like,
since they've changed their gimmick and they went heel and brought in the Uso Penitentiary, it kind of made people turn heads. And have made people take notice of the Usos again. They've broken the shackles of being in the shadow of their cousin as well, which helps too. They're staying away from their cousin.
And had so many great matches from pretty much everyone.
To be fair, like my favourite tag team match of the year involved them and the Bar at Survivor Series.
Yeah, but let's not forget their rivalry with the New Day as well. Like
the New Day with the first ever tag team
Hell in a Cell match.
Hell in a Cell match as well. Yeah. So many classics. Tearing the house down at SummerSlam because they were put on the pre-show unfairly with the New Day and actually having probably the match of the night as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're getting all the good matches now. So now let's move on to a very interesting award we put this year, World Storyline of 2017. There's a lot to choose from. The nominations were Kevin Owens and against the McMahons, Cena against Reigns, The Return of the Shield, Rollins against Triple H, the totally awesome skits from Miz and Maurice teasing the Total Bellas, the Worst of Friends, aka Jericho and Owens, the fighting between Joe Henry and Lionheart in ICW, and Grado staying in the US during Impact Wrestling. So some interesting ones up ahead there. So we'll get straight to it. The TKO Kickie for World Storyline of 2017 goes to... Now, this is an interesting one because we have two winners for this one. If you look,
Dave.
Yes, as you know, for anyone who checked out our rules, we announced that if there's a draw in points and in first places, then it's a tie. Both the Kevin Owens and the McMahons and Total Awesome have won this war together, so it's a two-way win for these guys. And to be fair, they were both best storyline and probably best parody. So I give it for both of them in those cases, if you know what I mean. So it works for that. We'll move on. The World Rivalry of the Year.
Yeah, some really good rivalries. Run down some highlights of the nominations. Obviously, Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. You got obviously the Okada Omega rivalry, which is fantastic. You've got Naito's and Tanahashi's. Will Ospreay's against Kushida, culminating in the Best of the Super Junior final as well. Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, like we just said, with the storyline winner. Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, which is probably one of the most underrated rivalries I think of the year. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, not just for their WWE matches, but for anyone that's seen them on the indie scene as well. And then finally Ember Moon against Asuka. And Dave, the winner is...
No, we're not stuck by our own drum roll. It's better if we do.
Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada for their trio of matches over the past year.
This actually been a great year for trios in general, wasn't it? Like, not just Okada and Omega, but you obviously had like the Usos and New Day, and obviously Bate and Dunn. But this was the trio.
It was.
Yeah. Like there's so many.
Each match better than the last. No match you could point at and say that was a poor match. Every one of them fantastic. Absolutely. Every one of them was almost an hour, and one of them was an hour of pure wrestling excellence.
Absolutely. We'll move on to World's Cruiserweight / Junior Heavyweights of the year of 2017. All very worthy nominations. Neville, Will Ospreay, Murray Skrull, Hiromu Takahashi, Kushida, Enzo Amore, Kalisto, and Ricochet. All very worthy contenders, but there only can be one winner. The TKO Kicky for World Cruiserweights Junior Heavyweights of 2017 goes to Will Ospreay. And he's had a fantastic year. No, my personal opinion, I probably would have put Kushida based on his accomplishments. He's won Best of Super Juniors, he's won Junior Heavyweight, he even won the World TV title. But Will Ospreay has probably been by far and away the best high-flying wrestler in the world the last year.
Exactly, yeah. And in terms of his work on the indie scene as well, Will Ospreay has gotten a huge gathering. Obviously, people... This was the year of his matches with Ricochet as well. So don't forget the matches there with Ricochet, and also now I know this was obviously the start of 2018, but obviously having his fatal 4-way match at Wrestle Kingdom too, winning the Junior Heavyweight Championship. I think it is deserved. I think if you were to pick either Skrull, Ricochet, or not Skrull, Ospreay, or Kushida, I don't think I could have any doubts with that.
Interesting. Yeah. So let's move on now. World Faction of the Year for 2017.
Yes, World Faction of the Year. So many great factions, mostly in New Japan.
Yeah.
That we've picked from this category. We'll run through them. Obviously, it's LIJ. You've got the Bullet Club, Suzuki Gun, Chaos. Outside of Japan, we've also mentioned British Strong Style and CCK.
We've also mentioned Sanity and Undisputed Era from WWE as well.
Exactly.
So all worthy nominations, but of course there's going to be one winner. You choose to start?
Oh, I will. Yeah, I gotta wait for him. The suspense is building. Los Ingobernables de Japan are your World Faction of the Year 2017.
They are by far. I think it surprises me that they're not more popular outside of Japan. For me,
they're starting to.
Oh, they're starting.
This year has definitely been the year of LIJ, and has started to get people noticing outside of Japan, especially. Obviously, the Bullet Club will always probably be the main club or main faction. But LIJ are definitely catching up fast.
Absolutely.
We're just waiting for a Being the Elite LIJ version now with Naito, Evil, and Sonata.
Yeah, I can look at that. Well, I don't think they need it. The way they're going, they're doing awesome, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So let's move on now. Our TKO Kicky for World Breakout Star of 2017. A lot of great nominations. We've had a fantastic year where they've come out of nowhere to be some of the most well-known wrestlers now as a result of their year. But here are the nominations. Pete Dunne, Tyler Bates, Keith Lee, Braun Strowman, Travis Banks, Hiromu Takahashi, Jinder Mahal, and Andrade Cien Almas. All very worthy nominations, but of course, there can be only one winner. If I just get the spike here, it's missing. It's here. So the winner of the TKO Kicky for World Breakout Star of 2017 is the Bruiserweights, Pete Dunne. And this goes all the way back to the WWE UK the tournament, almost this time last year. Now look at him now; he's having all these great matches all over the world, So
yep, it's so crazy from where you can come at the start of 2017 till the
2
end.
years ago he was OTT champion. Yeah. So look how far he's come. It's amazing, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. Him and Tyler Bate as well, just because of this UK Championship, have excelled so much, and they've branched out to so many different parts, and been obviously with the likes of Trent Seven and Wolfgang as well, being featured on WWE NXT a lot of the time too. It's just been a great year for these guys.
Indeed it has. Let's move on now to the wrestling's moment of 2017.
Yes, the moment of 2017. There's some really, really, really great moments we've had this year, including the Hardys' return to WrestleMania. You've got the Undertaker's retirement. You've got Tyler Bate winning the UK title, Jericho being announced for Wrestle Kingdom, Kurt Angle joining the Shield and taking part in TLC with his in-ring return for almost 10 years in WWE. You got Marty Scurll joining the Bullet Club as well.
That was a good moment.
The first women's Money in the Bank, the Okada and Omega trilogy as well, which we touched on earlier on too. But the moment of 2017 is the Hardy Boys returning at WrestleMania. What a pop they got.
When
their music played, the crowd at Orlando, even the crowd in Buskers as well.
There was grown men crying in front of me over that, because they couldn't believe that because especially then the Broken Hardys were just so most over thing in wrestling then.
Well, it was so shocking. Unexpected, because normally when you have a return coming, it's normally leaked and people are expecting it to happen. But with the Hardys, when they were wrestling just the night before at Ring of Honor against the Young Bucks, everyone thought, okay, the Hardys aren't coming back, even though the stipulation was a ladder match.
Yeah.
And then you had obviously the New Day, who were the hosts of WrestleMania that year, and they had their ring gear on, and they were saying there's a 4th team entering, and then the Hardy Boys music drops.
Brilliant. It was brilliant. But now this is the big awards, the TKO Kickie for World Match of 2017. Now we have so many nominations for this, I don't think we could get through them all.
So many nominations, but when it came down to it, when you really thought about it, there was only going to be one winner, but you didn't know which of their matches was going to be the winner.
Pretty much, yeah. So
Dave, I'm going to give you the honour of announcing the World Match of 2017, and it is
Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega.
Obviously, but which one?
2 at New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion.
The hour-long match.
The
one that finished in a draw.
They finished in the draw.
The first ever 6-star match.
6 1/4 match by
6 1/4 star match.
So 6.5 star match, excuse me.
No, 6 1/4. You're right.
Was it 6 1/4?
Yeah, 6 1/4 match. 6 1/4 star match, because they gave the first match at Wrestle Kingdom 6 stars. Unbelievable. The one part of the match that will always be in my head is when these guys were both so tired from beating the hell out of each other, when Okada tries to go for a Rainmaker and Kenny Omega's just so exhausted he falls to the ground and makes Okada miss.
Something else, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
Match. But now that's all the World Awards. Now for all our listeners here in Ireland, we're now going to get to the Irish wrestling scene. We have 12 awards up for grabs. We're going to go from top to bottom now. We're going to do it New Japan style. Go try and get to more important ones last. So we'll save all the main individual awards for towards the ends.
Okay.
So we're going to start with this one with a bit of a ironic one from us, but we'll get the Irish Wrestling Podcast / YouTube channel of 2017.
Yes.
Now, of course, beyond us, there's so many good Irish wrestling podcasts out there. So it's only fair. For us, it feels like a big happy family. We're all trying to reach out. We all help each other. We all
a little bit of collusion in this though that I didn't like.
Oh,
collusion, Dave. The worst word you could say when it comes to a voting sort style system. Low blows advocating for another podcast to win.
That's not a bad thing.
I'm only messing with you. I didn't mind at all. Low blows, of course, were one of the
nominations, as well as Indie Wrestling Podcasts, the Bottom Rope from Keith Corrigan, the IWF Podcasts, the IWF 24/7 show that's up on the Irish Wrestling Forum, run by Nathan McDonough, the Corporate Keen YouTube channel, Dynamo's Dozen by Ian Kelly, and then the CCW Podcast. But of course, there can only be one winner. And the first ever TKO Kickie for Irish Wrestling Podcast / YouTube channel 2017 goes to... Sorry, I forgot to mention it's third, second and thirds. We have to do it backwards, but let's just do it anyway.
Yeah, we'll go with winners and then we'll mention.
Okay, yeah. Well, the winner is Corporate Keen.
Well done. Keen. Good lad.
No, to be fair, his YouTube channel is hilarious.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so funny how he just comes with all the way he talk to all the female wrestlers. His fantasy bookings are ingenious, I think.
It's a great channel.
It always brings a smile to your face.
Yeah.
We are second and third for those awards. In second place by for you, the listeners who voted in. In second place was Low Blows, and in third place was the CCW Podcast. So congratulations to all there. We'll continue on with the Irish storyline of 2017.
Yes, in the World Award, there's been some great storylines this past year in Irish wrestling. A quick run through of a few of them. You got Jordan Devlin as the import killer. You got the breakup of the Gym Nasties, Bobby George Jr.'s losing streak, Brian Smiles' heel turn, as well as Lauren LaRue joins therapy. Now,
should we mention Turfin first this time? Or should we go just winner?
I think we'll go winner, and we'll do a special mention to second and third.
Well,
okay?
in that case,
the Irish storyline of 2017 is Jordan Devlin as the import killer.
no doubts.
No doubts. In what has been a fantastic year for Jordan.
Fantastic year, like
The storyline of him being the import killer, the merch as well.
Oh yeah,
The merch.
Ingenious from
Hat tip to Jade.
Yeah, absolutely. Jade earned as a very special mention as she eventually essentially well, it was between the commentary and Jade. It was a huge contribution from everybody that created the storyline from OTT, so a huge credit goes to everyone for that. In second and third place as well, just give them a quick mention as well.
Yes, second place was Ryan Smiles' heel turn at OTT, and third up was the Gymnasties breaking up.
So yeah, that was a heartbreaker actually.
It was a heartbreaker, yeah.
But we'll move on. The Irish rivalry of 2017. Some really big, some good rivalries happening this year in Irish wrestling. The nominations are Luther Valentine versus Tucker, Mark Haskins versus Ryan Smile, The Establishment versus the Armstrongs, Seshamot Martina versus Katie Harvey, The Kings of the North versus The Rapture, and Raven Creed versus Debbie Gattel. But of course, there can only be one winner. And this year's winner of the TKO Kickies Irish rivalry of 2017 is the Seshamot Martina versus Katie Harvey. And this was a fantastic rivalry.
Yeah.
It really was, because they've been back and forth for well before 2017, and they finally culminated in their match at WrestleRama for the women's title. So
yeah, I totally agree. Out of the list itself, I think that was the one that was probably, obviously it wasn't, but it seemed like the most personal as well.
absolutely, yeah.
Both these girls vying for to be top of the mountain in OTT, which culminated in obviously the first ever OTT Women's Championship being created, which they fought for over the past year as well. Obviously Martina winning it, then Katie winning it off her, and then Martina winning it back.
Yeah.
Off her after that. Great rivalry, and I think definitely a deserved winner of rivalry of the year.
Absolutely. In second and third place, in second place was the rivalry between Raven Creed and Debbie Gattel. Great rivalry, and it's only getting better now as we enter 2018 as well. And in third was the great rivalry at OTT between Mark Haskins and Ryan Smile. Now let's move on to one of our first named awards, our Export of the Year, aka the Pack Your Bag of Cans Awards for the TKO Kickie for Irish Exports of 2017.
Yes, and once again some fantastic nominees, including the Seshamot Martina, Jordan Devlin, Katie Harvey, Rocky Mack, Sean Maxer Guinness, Darren Kearney, Michael May, and Xavier Burns. But there is only one winner.
Absolutely.
And the winner of the Pack Your Bag of Cans Award for Irish Export of 2017 is the Seshamot Martina.
Way. Who's made a very big impact especially across in the UK, especially ICW now. She's been involved in a few storylines over there now, a few controversial ones here.
Yes, with Bram.
Yeah, absolutely. But she's made a huge name for herself outside of Ireland now, so all credit to her. So she's really doing very well for herself.
Yeah, totally agree. And also over in Germany as well, starting to make a name for herself over there too. So it's I envision 2018 from going from strength to strength for Martina.
Absolutely.
And for her maybe to branch out to possibly other parts of Europe, fingers crossed.
Who knows?
And who knows, maybe even over the Atlantic to the States.
Who knows? Obviously, then in second and third place, then give them a mention.
Second and third place, of course, Jordan Devlin, and then Xavier Burns also was in third place. So both close, but not close enough to Seshamot.
We'll now move on to another named awards, the Jerry Humperdinck Awards for the Irish Personality of 2017. And the nominations for this are Jussie, Angel Cruz, Be Cool, Lee Callahan, Billy Bedlam, the Armstrongs, Don Marnell, and Angus O'Maganelli. Very worthy nominations, but of course, there can only be one winner. So the TKO Kickie for the Jerry Humperdinck Award for Irish Personality of 2017 is, oh my god, it's beautiful, is the Armstrongs. who have had a fantastic year,
Yeah.
both in and out of the ring. Like, you know, when you look at all the promo stuff they do as well.
The Total Armstrongs gimmick that they have is unbelievable.
The instant genius.
It's one of the best things CCW have done, and I love watching every episode of them because the guys are just so good.
Absolutely, yeah. And in the second and third place for that as well, in second place, Just C, who has had a very good year as well.
Of course,
all across Irish wrestling. And in third place, CCW's Billy Bedlam, who's really picked things up as well. So great.
Billy Bedlam being in charge, obviously, of therapy, and he plays that character so well. And I know it's like the character, like, despite how like much we know about wrestling and stuff, they'll still be freaked out by a character like that. Just shows how much dedication he puts into it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so just all props to him for that.
Now, we have an award now for the best wrestler from outside of Ireland. So we call this
Yes.
the TKO Kickie for the Package Prowl Driver Awards.
Yes.
Ironically named for Irish Import of 2017.
Kind of ironic because most of these names have actually suffered a package pile
Some of
driver
them, anyway.
by the import killer himself. Anyway,
We won't
but anyway,
digress.
the nominees for Package Pile Driver Award for Irish Import of 2017 were as follows: Matt Riddle, Pastor William Ever, Jody Flesh, Ryan Smile, Mark Haskins, Zach Gibson, Marty Skrull, Pete Dunne, CCK, and Jurgen Simmons. And the winner of Package Pile Driver Award for Irish Import 2017 is Pastor William Ever.
The Beat Ever himself.
Reach out and touch fate.
The reigning CCW heavyweight champion, who's had a fantastic year, not only as CCW winning the title, but also making appearances in OTT as well.
Yep.
So he's branched out, not just obviously in CCW. He's had some very good matches, especially that match with Joseph Connors, and where we were there for.
Just going out onto the streets of Cork and everything, and just fantastic matches he's had. Great to see him that he was in OTT as well. Hopefully we'll see him in OTT a few more times. Can't wait to see him again at CCW, probably for the next event at Ladder Wars. And just a fantastic year for William Ever over here in Ireland, and I can't wait to see more of him wrestling both here in Dublin and in Cork. Some honourable mentions to both second and third place. In second was Jody Felch, I should say, and in third was Matt Riddle. Both had two fantastic years.
Yeah,
as well.
Jody Felch especially was William Ever's rival over in CCW for, like, he won the Celtic Rumble and made a couple of appearances in OTT as well. Yeah, and Matt Riddle is probably one of the most over guys in OTT at the moment. So for sure. Now let's move on to our TKO Kickie for the Contender Awards for Irish Prospect of 2017. And this was a really tough award.
This is a really tough award, yeah.
So nominations are LJ Cleary, Scotty Davis, Michael May, Curtis Murray, Nathan Martin, and Darren Carney. All have had fantastic years. All have really made a name for himself, and or the next generation. Like the way Irish wrestling is now, this is the next bunch coming up. So
these guys, they're the prospect. They're in the prospect category for 2017. The way that these guys are going, they could be in the award. They could be in the category for Irish Male of the Year.
Totally agree.
At the end of 2018.
But in the meantime, we can only pick one. So the winner of the TKO Kickies Contender Awards for Irish Prospect of 2017 is Scotty Davis. And for me, when you consider all the matches he's had, especially in the main shows for OTT, he's wrestled against likes of Jigsaw and British Strong Style just recently, and Aussie Open and Ryan Smile as well. Like, he's had so much great matches. So, and if it's like he's wrestled for them for ages, you know. So he's a very worthy winner for this, in my opinion.
Exactly. I hate the fact that he's only 16, 17.
Oh my God! As I said before, and I say it again, he's disgustingly young.
Fantastic wrestler. It's scary the heights that this guy can go. He has no ceiling.
No, absolutely.
A lot of these guys in this category, they have no ceiling.
Absolutely, yeah. Also in second and third place, second place Curtis Murray, another fantastic year for him.
Yeah.
part of Legit 100 with Scotty Davis, and had some great matches as well. A great match he had with Jordan Devlin in Belfast, for example. And then third place was LJ Cleary, who's probably the best heel of the contenders coming up. Like, he's had some fantastic... I love his character.
Yeah. Irish light heavyweight champion as well for most of the year before he eventually lost to Jordan Devlin in a fantastic match. And then another fantastic match when they had the rematch as well.
Indeed.
And he's been having some really good matches in contenders as well. So, like I said, this year you're in the prospect category. Next year you could be in the Irish male category.
I hate to think it's going to be hard to name all the guys next year the way they're all going, so isn't it?
It's going to be tough.
But let's move on. The appropriately named Apollo 55 Awards for Irish Tag Team of 2017.
Yeah, a lot of really, really good tag teams this year.
It's getting more serious now, isn't it?
Really, really good tag teams this year, featuring, of course, Kings of the North. The lads from the Flats, you got the Establishment. You've also got these new tag teams that have just come through this year as well, like the Angel Cruisers, like Team Tropicana. We've also got, obviously, the Armstrongs this year have had a fantastic year. The Woods Brothers, and also Rough Stuff as well. But the winner of Irish Tag Team for 2017 is the Armstrongs.
And again, going back to what we said about them for being personality of the year, like, they've obviously been, they're doing so well with their promo, but in the ring they're doing very well as well. They're very worthy tag team champions, just winning it this year as well. So
going to start probably a really good program with the Establishment. Hopefully we'll see something like that, or maybe a multi-team sort of thing. I'm not going to tell Lee how to book.
No, don't.
Ladder Wars, not at all. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's doing a great job down there.
This was actually a very, very close one. It was very close between them and Kings of the North, who finished seconds. But, like, it shows how competitive the tag team divisions is, not just in OTT and CCW, but in general. Like you said, Kings of the North finishing in second, having another fantastic year yet again. Absolutely.
At OTT. Champions all year as well, pretty much. Or they won it early in the year, I think they did, and held on to it for most of it. And then in third place was the Establishment, also from CCW, former CCW Tag Team Champions too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're going to move on.
We're going to move on now.
And we're going to get to the business end of these two. It's 2 awards left.
We have 4 awards left, actually.
4 awards. I'm sorry. We do. You're right.
Yeah, now it's getting to the business ends. Now we're going to name the Rebecca Quinn Awards for Irish Female Wrestler of 2017. Again, this was actually probably the closest from looking back at all the voting. This was actually probably the closest one, because it was so tight the way when we counted it. But the nominations were Session Martina, Katie Harvey, Raven Creed, Lauren LaRue, Valkyrie, Debbie Cattell, and Amy Alonzi. It was such a close one, this was, but again, we have to name one winner. And so, the TKO Kickie for the Rebecca Quinn Awards for Irish Female Wrestler of 2017 is, for the second year in a row, Raven Creed has won it this year, and she's had a fantastic year. She's now become the CCW Women's Champion, but not only that, she's breaking out to OTT Contenders as well, and and she's a fantastic wrestler, so for me she's a very worthy winner. Exactly.
Her and Biddy Bedlam in the therapy faction, like I says, for a faction to freak me out like that just shows how good of a job that they're doing. She's been fantastic in the ring. You've seen, like, if you haven't seen our matches in CCW, you've seen what she's like in OTT Contenders. A fantastic wrestler. Also, only like 18 as well. It's crazy.
No, I know.
Absolutely crazy. Second year in a row, and well deserved. Some honourable mentions as well for second and third place.
Absolutely, yeah. In second place was Debbie Cattell, who again has had a fantastic year. Considering it's not even a year in wrestling, but she's already made a huge impact all over Irish wrestling, OTT, CCW, and PWU. So she's doing and Uprising, making a huge name for herself. And in third place, the Session Martina. Very, very interesting now that she came in third, but it's the way the voting goes. But again, we can't discredit Martina. She's had a fantastic year.
It's out of our hands. That's what the fans thought. They thought that Session Martina was in third. They thought that Raven Creed deserved to win. And look, I'm not going to argue with how the voting went.
Not at all.
Not at all. Raven is definitely a deserved winner.
But now we move on to the Fergal Devitt Awards for Irish Male Wrestler of
Yes.
2017.
Yes, and so many contenders for this award.
This actually again was very close, much closer than most people were, I think, actually.
You've got Jordan Devlin, of course, had a fantastic year. Tucker also had a fantastic year. Both those guys taking part in the UK Championship. You've got Phil Boyd in the small package. You've got Adam Maxted. You've got Justy, of course, who's wrestled all over the country, like you've been mentioning this year. Danny the Beast Butler, Ricky Combat, another fantastic year for him too. And then, of course, Angel Cruz, who has probably had one of the best years I think anybody has had.
I think you're right there. But of course, there can
OTT. But there can only be, unfortunately, one winner. Although all these guys are winners of my mind. The winner for Fergal David Award for Irish Male in year 2017 is... It was going to be Jordan Devlin. Of course, it was always going to be Jordan Devlin.
No, to be fair, he's had such an amazing year. Not just in Irish wrestling, but in general. He's wrestling outside in the UK now. He's making a name for himself in WWE's books, and deservedly he won the NLW Championship at the end of the year, beating some great wrestlers on the way, and had some almost like so many match of the year candidates in the way, like as well. So it's amazing. Very, for me, I personally can't think of a more worthy winner than him.
No, I can't. But honourable mentions have to give to second and third place. Ricky Combat, like I said, has had a fantastic year. Wrestled some great matches, including he's in there for match of the year in our later on that we're just going to announce shortly. And then, of course, Danny the Beast Butler, who every year continues to set high standards of wrestling in Ireland.
Absolutely. Now we have the two more last awards left. We're going to start off first with the Irish Wrestling's Moment of 2017. Now, we talked about the World Moment of 2017 earlier on, but we have to consider the Irish moments, and there were so many to pick from. So the nominations are Jordan Devlin winning the NLW title, the Armstrongs winning the CCW tag titles, Angel Cruz with his chainsaw moments. Those are unbelievable moments. Don Marnell and Angus O'Garcanelli's Scrappermania moments. That's when they were introduced. That was the first National Stadium show, and it was such a pop at that start. That was amazing. We have to mention, obviously, a nomination: Rob Harmon at Being the Elites.
Of course,
that was such an incredible. It was so crazy.
The elf on the ring apron.
Kenny Omega being announced for Scrappermania. That's again up there with the pops, like, because like. Again, I described it during the bloopers bit during the YouTube show how intense of it, or how shocked everyone was for that, like such amazing. Obviously, the Dick Flip heard around the world involving Joey Ryan and Mick Foley. That's at WrestleRama, and the Evers Connor match starting in the streets of Cork. So many moments happening all over Irish wrestling, but of course there could only be one winner. So this year's TKO Kickies for the Irish Wrestling's Moment of 2017 goes to Jordan Devlin winning the NLW Championship. And again, I think a lot of people vote for this because we've seen how Devlin has had such a great road to the title, and it's so satisfying to finally see him win it.
Yeah, exactly. He's been there. He's been probably one of the best Irish wrestlers for a couple of years at OTT. He's been, like, obviously he spent some time in the mid card. He spent some time with the Social Elite, but it was all building for this moment to win against Mark Haskins for the NLW title. And when he won it, the crowd just went nuts for it. And then even just at that moment at the end, going up the ramp and then being greeted by Paul Tracy as trainer.
Yeah, that was a nice moment. Yeah,
you know, it was anybody that has paid attention to this, to obviously Irish wrestling in the past couple of years, knows obviously Paul trained Jordan as well, and if you didn't put a lump in your throat, then you're not alive. You have no soul.
Honourable mentions, in second place was the Armstrongs winning the CCW tag titles. Again, they've had such a great year, and it was probably great satisfaction to finally see them win the tag titles. And in third place was the infamous stick flip involving Mick Foley and Joey Ryan at WrestleMania. Very controversial moments, but it was definitely a moment. I mean, it was so.
It sparked a debate about what is wrestling.
It did indeed, and it happened in Irish soil. So why not mention it? So that's why I see it. But now it's the big one: the Fight Forever Awards for Irish Match of 2017.
Yep.
And there's so many nominations.
So many. We're not going to run through all of them. We'll just go through a few of them.
Okay, I'll tell you what. How about this? Since there's so many of them, how about we just, because it's the last award, it's the big one, let's run it from 3 to 1. How about that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay?
Okay.
It's this type of awards.
So, so we'll just mention second and third place, then we'll do our drum roll.
That makes sense. Let's do it.
How about that? Okay, so, in third place for Irish Match of the Year, the Fight Forever Award, British Strong Style versus Angel Cruisers and Tyler Bates.
That was a hell of a match. It was so. Were we ever name what other promotion where you've seen the same person on both teams in a handicap match?
Exactly. Thinking it was Tyler Breeze though.
Yeah.
Just seeing Tyler Bates just doesn't know who he wants to go with, fighting within himself, you could say.
Yeah.
To pick a side, eventually sticking with British Strong Style.
Yeah.
To break everyone's hearts.
Indeed.
But an unbelievable match as well. The storytelling was fantastic throughout the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And then obviously that's when we saw the chainsaw.
That's
when we saw the axe.
That's when we saw the axe.
That's when we saw the axe.
That was a moment as
the
well.
Chainsaw, was with the hardcore match with the Kings of the North. Sorry.
No,
the
Chainsaw match. Chainsaw. He wasn't involved in the match at all. He was. I think is when Logan Bryce and Sammy D attacked Be Cool, and then the Chainsaw came and he came from under the ring, and he almost chopped Logan Bryce's balls off him.
Oh, of course. Sorry, my bad. But anyway,
in second place,
great match. In second place for Irish Match of the Year is Mike Bailey versus Matt Riddle, also at OTT.
And that was an incredible match. That's as one-on-one matches go, that was the best match, I think, as it goes. Like, you know, yeah. So like, it's just mind-boggling, like how crazy. Like both have martial arts backgrounds, and they literally tore the house down. Like, you know. But there has to be a winner. So
yes, there has to be. There can only be one winner for Irish Match of the Year, and the Fight Forever Award for Irish Match of 2017 is Joe Henry versus Jordan Devlin versus Ricky Combat versus Will Ospreay for the then WCPW World Heavyweight Championship at CCW's Super Lariat Brothers.
Hell of a match.
Just in the summer. A hell of a match that we both got the pleasure of seeing live.
Indeed.
4 unbelievable competitors, different styles for all 4 too, that just meshed together so well.
Absolutely. It was just one of those matches where your eyes were peeled to it the whole time. Everyone played their parts so well. I almost compare that match to the Cruiserweights Fatal 4 where we saw a Wrestle Kingdom, in the way that here's Joe Henry, who was the heel, similar to how Marty Scurll was. Obviously Ospreay was in the match. But then you have Jordan Devlin, who, well, I wouldn't compare Jordan Devlin or Ricky Combat to maybe Tanahashi or Kushida, because they're both very different guys.
I would say more Jordan Devlin could be more like similar to how Kushida was, and then I could say Takahashi could be similar to how Ricky Combat was. But yeah, I know what you mean, what you're trying to say. Unbelievable match, some fantastic spots, so many close near falls. Just the match in general just went all over the place, and the crowd never sat down for that match.
Absolutely,
not once.
No, it was incredible.
Not counting the fact that there actually wasn't any seats from this.
I know, yeah.
If there was seats, they wouldn't be sitting on them.
Oh, no, yeah. So anyway, big congratulations to all of our winners. We may or may not have awards this time next year. We'll see what happens. Like, who knows? Like,
why wouldn't we?
I can't see why not.
Why wouldn't we? It's 2 years in a row. I think it's working quite well.
In the end of the day, it was a great year in pro wrestling. Like, you know, for me, it was a lot of fun doing all this. Like, so, and it's only encouraging now, especially when we see all this great matches from both wrestlers in and out of the country. Like, you know, the sky's the limit for us when you think about it, for Irish wrestling. Yeah, it really is. But that's our TKO Kickies. We'll now just finish off our show very quickly with our yes nos.
Yes, no! Yes, no! Yes, no!
So there's a few yes nos to bring up. Mostly, a lot of them are concerning the Rumbles coming up. I say Rumbles.
First time ever saying Rumbles.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Well, we'll start off with Candice LeRae to debut WWE at the Women's Royal Rumble. I think there's confirmation that she signs.
There's a lot of speculation that she signs. I don't think it hasn't been confirmed as of when we're recording this, but No.
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 Because?
Because she signed an NXT deal.
Okay.
If it was a WWE deal, then yeah, maybe.
Okay, fair enough. Samoa Joe and John Cena scrapped due to Joe's injury. I say injury with
Inverted
brackets.
commas you're doing right there. Yeah. This is not the part we're recording for YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be scrapped. I think it will happen eventually, which I'd like to see happen for sure. I still think that he's going to come in.
Okay.
I still think he's going to be in the match.
Oh, well,
and he might be the one to knock John Cena out.
Well, let's rephrase that then. Joe to be in the Rumble.
Yes.
Okay, Grant. So we'll go with that then for now. Rey Mysterio to join Impact Wrestling.
I don't know. They're making a lot of changes, and who is it that's actually getting involved in it?
Austin Aries just became their champion.
Yeah, spoiler alert, they did their tapings on Wednesday night.
Oh.
And they brought back the four-sided ring.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
They brought back the four-sided ring. And Austin Aries just signed a deal with them, and he's become their champion straight away, beating Eli Drake in seconds, I was told. I read. Not I was told. Who is it? Someone's actually just after coming on board with them, and supposedly it's going to be a good deal. Who is it?
No
He's
idea.
the Don Callis.
Oh, Don Callis, well.
Don Callis is actually on board now with Impact Wrestling.
Well, Don Callis was involved in TNA around the starts. Like, he was like that Cyrus character he brought from ECW and was involved with Red Shirt Security. That was actually, I liked that gimmick back then.
So he is actually going to he's going to be taking part in backstage with the right and stuff like that, and how it's run.
That'll work.
It will work really well. I doubt we're going to see Jericho pop up though.
No, I doubt that. Seriously, no way. Daniel Bryan to turn heel.
It's kind of going that way.
All this unstable business now. There's a lot of speculation about that now. And the way he's been acting lately, it leaves it's just to uncertainty, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
It'll
be too obvious to turn McMahon heel.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Now, the next one I have is a bunch of possible entries to the Women's Royal Rumble. I'll get through them all now. First of all, Serena Deeb, who was in the Mae Young Classic. You might know her better from the...
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she was involved in the Straight Edge Society with CM Punk. She was part of the Mae Young Classic recently.
No.
No, okay.
No, because I heard about her possibly signing a deal. It's actually going to be a deal with the...
NXT?
No, with the actual Performance Center, a trainer.
Oh, okay.
Not to be a competitor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Molly Holly.
They reached out, supposedly, to reports. I'd love to see Molly Holly back in the ring.
Yeah, it'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Beth Phoenix.
I think that's a certainty.
It's a certainty?
Especially if she's doing commentary for the Mixed Match
good points.
Match Challenge.
Yeah.
So.
Trish Stratus.
Yes, because I want to see all these like legends. There'll be no room left for the actual wrestlers.
Stop. Michelle McCool.
No.
And finally, Ronda Rousey.
No.
The reason I brought up Ronda Rousey...
I don't think they're going to put Ronda Rousey into it. I know supposedly that she signed a deal with WWE, but I don't think they'll put Ronda Rousey in the ring unless they have the other three horsewomen back in a row.
Well, there's talk of putting her straight into a singles match. So that's why it could be a possibility. And apparently there's been rumours that Triple H has been having meetings with Ronda Rousey. So
yeah, no, and her agent.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. And finally, The Undertaker to appear at the Rumble match. Now, obviously we know he's scheduled to make an appearance at the Raw 25th anniversary, which is just a week before. But do you think he'll make an appearance at the actual Rumble match?
He actually might.
Yeah. You feel uncomfortable with him doing that?
I do. Because just seeing him in the last Rumble match, unless he's gotten his health issues sorted out and he can actually walk now.
That's the thing. I mean, that was 8 months ago.
Yeah. If he can actually walk now, then okay.
We'll have to see what happens, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, that's all the time we have for this week on The Kickouts, your weekly pro wrestling guides, right here on 90.3 Near FM, on all good podcasting providers, and on the EMC Podcast Network. We'll be back next week talking about the latest developments from the world of pro wrestling, both here and abroad. And make sure to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/thekickoutwrestling, on Twitter at The Kickout Live, my own Twitter at Dave Bandana, and Dara's Twitter at
Mars Bar.
Now we'll go out with this. Obviously, this we're broken Matt Hardy now. almost fully in the flesh now. He came out to a brand new theme this week. Now, this isn't actually his theme, but it's actually a cover of his theme from a band called, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing this right, it's Talkutan. That's the way I pronounce it, but it seems like a bit of a heavy metal version of it. Like it starts with the piano, but it goes from there. So we'll go with that. So until next week, I've been Dave Cullen. He's been Daragh Maher. This has been the Kickout. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great weekend.